for the NFL draft. I don't even know if he wore a suit while he was selected for the NFL draft.
What do you think I wore?
Exactly what you're wearing now, athletic clothes.
I was wearing like a pretty casual t-shirt and like golf shorts. So
exactly.
That's dressed up for me.
That is the voice of Brad Nortman, longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl 50 runner-up. No Kyle Wallace all week. Picked a great week to take off after all this excitement for the Green Bay Packers drafting Matthew Golden in the first round. I don't get a, hey, what's going on, KBN Nation? We did it. We drafted a first-round wide receiver.
Well, let me do it then. We drafted a first-round wide receiver. Let's go. I know we're going to get to that, but I cannot be more excited for the Green Bay Packers.
The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you all show long because there's a heck of a lot to react to. 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. Carbless Talk and Text line list is more. You can see our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. And then on a sour note, what we all feared is true, according to Shams Charania, Chris Haynes. The MRI has revealed officially that Damian Lillard has suffered a torn left Achilles tendon. And that just flat out sucks. It sucks because you could see it, you kind of felt it, you saw the way that he stepped forward to make a play, like competing, like he was just competing. The man just had blood clots, came back, and unfortunately there are deeper layers to this than just like being sad about the fact that Damian Lillard torn Achilles is true.
Yeah, I mean, what little hope the Bucs still had after winning Game 3 was just sucked out of the arena when Dame went down, and you could tell there was something to it. But when you heard even early results that it might be, Achilles, and now it comes out for sure, it's just a gut punch. It's a gut punch to Bucs fans everywhere, and we're just seeing what should be, and it still is, one of the greatest eras of Milwaukee Bucks basketball, and we just cannot seem to get over the hump with the exception of the 2021 championship. So it hurts, but to me, it makes me appreciate that 2021 championship more. I mean, like KBN Nation, imagine where you were when the Valley-oop happened and Giannis scoring 50. I'm not sure it's ever going to happen again with Giannis at the helm. It's just sad.
Did you have to be? I was gonna try and make it longer than 3 minutes and 30 seconds before, like I thought we were gonna do the thing that you just said, like Alex Stroh running the show. I thought we were gonna at least stay on the memories and the where were you when sort of thing, because I'm on my Twitter timeline. I'm seeing videos of the Deer District. I'm reliving 2021. But ultimately, the reason why people are doing that is because, unfortunately, there is an uncertainty, not just about Giannis, but the Bucks as a whole. The way the roster is constructed, the idea that Damian Lillard is torn an Achilles at the worst possible time to do so, he is likely out without. What's sad is I don't even know how I'm going to remember Damian Lillard as a Milwaukee Buck.
It was a sad chapter.
It was a bad chapter. I mean, the guy was a decoy in round 1 last year against the Pacers.
Do you remember the thrill we had when he got traded? I mean, we did a 4-hour KBN show.
Dude, people were pumped. As they should be.
We were pumped.
2 top 75 players, an investment that the Milwaukee Bucks made after they had made an investment to bring Drew Holiday in, which paid off, and Drew and Chris and Giannis and all of them in their prime were amazing together in 2021. 2022, Chris Middleton gets hurt. Giannis somehow wills the team to 7 games against the Boston Celtics. Fast forward to 2023, Giannis gets hurt in the middle of the series. Then you fast forward to 2024, Giannis gets hurt before the playoffs. And 2025, the level of optimism that we had was tea leaves that Damian Lillard was going to come back, in which you read those correctly, Brad Nortman.
Did.
Giannis himself excited about the idea of being healthy heading into this playoff series, And the Bucks don't have a chance to win a championship this season. They just don't. They likely don't have. They have a outside chance of winning this series down 3-1, but heading to Indy. I mean, the Pacers are minus 7.5 point favorites. It's very unlikely. It would take a Giannis like in Game 6 of 2021 against the Phoenix Suns type effort every single game for the next 3 games just to get out of the first round of the playoffs.
It's a realization that, like, Giannis being great, and he is great. I mean, he was top 3 in MVP voting. For my money, the best player in the NBA, and he is playing at that level, and it's still not enough. It's not even enough to get out of the first round. This is likely going to end in 5 games with a 4-1 loss. And Giannis being great and doing everything he possibly can, it's still not enough. It says to the composition of this team. It says to how big of a loss it is losing Damian Lillard. And I am at a loss. I can't imagine how Giannis feels. He must be at a complete loss.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I might get a little poll happy here today, Strophy, but I do want to continue to hear from fans. Even if Giannis stays with the Milwaukee Bucks, is the championship window dead? Because my answer is yes. Like, it is. Damian Lillard is likely going to be out all of next season. Then he will have a player option for like $58 million.
Oh, jeez. So we're stuck with
it's a player option.
Yeah. And
I don't think he's going to be like, hey, I'm going to retire for the good of the Milwaukee Bucks. Per Chris Haynes, someone who's very close with, he says that Damian Lillard is in very good spirits and is like trying to make a run at coming back and being an NBA player still.
For $58 million, I would too. I mean, when it comes,
who wouldn't?
Honestly. So you're telling me, so just to, again, chart this course, Dame's likely going to be out all next season, but the Bucks are on the hook for $50+ million for his contract. Then there's a player option to where he can elect to come back at 58, which he's going to do because he's not going to get $58 million on the open market. And we're basically stuck with him when he's going to be like 37.
Don't know how you approach other teams in the NBA and say, hey, we got this 35-year-old coming off an Achilles injury. Do you want to trade for him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sign me up. There's a whole line
Do you want
of
this
guys.
contract for Damian Lillard? Like again,
basketball trades they're kind of goofy. You have to like match up contracts. Like, well, who's going to accept that?
And even with that, like he wouldn't likely be traded to a team that like would be competitive. So then you like no, like a competitive team would want Dame. But you're like you'd want assets at that age for that contract. You're not going to get it. Chris and Muskego, you're up. Like I said, all of KBN Nation's welcome to join any conversation. Packers, Bucks, Brewers, Badgers, you name it. Chris and Muskego, you're up on the Carbless Talk and text line.
Hey guys, first the Packer drop, loved it. We'll see what happens in 3 and 4 years if they pan out. I'm sorry, Damian. Lillard tore his Achilles tendon. That's terrible for anybody, especially an athlete as good as he is. But with or without Damian, they ain't going to win this series. And I was really surprised they don't have the talent. They don't have a shutdown defender. And I love Giannis. He's one of the best players, if not the best in the NBA. But when he's a guy that usually thinking that has the most assists on your team, that's telling me you ain't got a guard worth of crap. Doc Rivers needs to go. The organization should never extend Horst with 1 more year on his contract.
They did extend him, yeah.
All he's done is decimated any foot trades we had to get in any first-round draft picks.
And Chris, appreciate the call. Just a little bit of interesting phone reception here on a Monday at 2:09. Look,
that's one way to put it.
I agree. The Bucks weren't going to win anything this year with Dame, but the idea would be is if you had a healthy Dame, you can like say to Giannis, all right, it's you and Dame. You have some expiring contracts. You have some opportunity to maybe go get some players, create some sort of plan for Giannis, because every year you have to continue to show your superstar why you should stay here. If the Bucks are smart, they're not going to say, hey, we're open to trading him. It's going to have to come from Giannis. It's going to have to. Giannis is going to have to be the one. If you're the Milwaukee Bucks organization, to say, "Hey, I just can't do it anymore.
Well,
Like there's no way like I can win another championship, and I think this is really important as a reason to why you can start having these conversations about Giannis is because Giannis himself talking with Thanasis Antetokounmpo on the Thanalysis show. He talked about championships, man. Like he's at an age where now like he's won one and he's the uber competitive, wants to leave a legacy in everything he does. Here's what he had to say to his brother about wanting to win championships.
I love the championship we won. I love the run. I love the people that we were together, the people that we won it with. I love how it played out, being down 2-0, me getting hurt, Chris going crazy, Drew doing his thing, Bobby now playing against Brooklyn, then coming against Atlanta, the Hawks, and killing them. I love all that, but that's in the past. And the way you won then, that's not the way you're going to win in the future, right? So that's in the past. Now we just gotta create some new memories. So yeah, I'm trying to win a second ring, man. I really believe it. And I'll say this here. This is one of my goals. Like everybody plays to win, but like me not having a second championship, like I look back at my career and everybody can say, oh, he had an incredible career, active Hall of Famer, first ballot, whatever. But like me, my personal goal, like if I'm not able to help my team win a second ring, like I'm letting down myself. Like I really want to win the second one. Hopefully I do it. Hopefully I'm healthy.
He wants to win a second championship. And that's where it's like, if you put yourself, and none of us can put ourselves in one of the greatest players of all time in the NBA's shoes, but if you were in Giannis's shoes and you look at the fact that Damian Lillard is not going to be available next year, are you willing to wait on an older Damian Lillard and trusting John Horst to build a championship team around him with where they're at?
Well, it was the one lifeline that the Bucks did have, right? Because if you had Dame, you could at least tell Giannis, okay, this summer we're going to trade a healthy Dame, theoretically, and we're going to get some young guys, we're going to get some picks, and we're going to restart this career journey together. So, you know, we view you as a Buck for life. It might be a season or two away, but we're going to get you there. We're going to restart the team. Now you have even less assets to use. You can't do that. And Giannis talking about the past in that clip on Thanalysis Live. I mean, he knows all of that isn't relevant anymore. He also knows his legacy is limited without a second ring. So if I'm Giannis, the Bucks no longer have trade value with Dame. Dame isn't going to be the same player even when he does come back. And what other assets do the Bucks have? They have very little draft picks, and this team is just not good. If I'm Giannis, I wouldn't fault him 1 second for going to a different team.
And that's the thing. It's like it's like a day of mourning right now because like already, if Giannis Antetokounmpo stays with the Bucks after this season, is the championship window already closed? 91% of the people voting in our poll already are saying yes, this window is closed.
91%. That's a runaway.
Strove,
And
are you? I mean, you look sad, so I'm guessing you feel the same way. Okay, all right. Sometimes you do a good job speaking with your words without using your words, which is very rare. Very rare. The guy talked a lot at the NFL draft this weekend.
Stop it.
Up for an entire week in Green Bay, so now he doesn't want to use his voice.
No, the window's been closed.
You're like
closed.
Bumblebee in Transformers. You can't actually speak. You have to use different ways.
Wow, no, that's
ridiculous.
Isn't that a
movie
poll?
reference once again.
And now I just had to start a Monday with making you be like, what an absurd Ben Brust poll.
You're such an absurd idiot who I adore. Look, I don't know what to say, man.
It's your job to say something.
I know. We got 2 hours and 45 minutes left, and I'm already out of words when it comes to this topic. It sucks. It sucks.
Does anyone have anything to add other than it sucks? 800-990-3776. That's what Alex Strofe has for you. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace. Look, I'm not going to lie. I will be able to quickly turn the page because I'm still pretty excited just in general from what the Green Bay Packers did from a statement on Thursday. We can talk about Friday and Saturday and all the back-end pieces of building depth of the roster. But I got some confidence in this offense. And Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur and Goody and Murphy, that was a hell of a weekend. So if you have something to add other than it sucks, like Alex Strofe said, I'll hear you out on the Bucks. But until then, we will move forward with a great weekend up in Green Bay in the NFL Draft. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. 800-990-3776. We're with you till 5 o'clock next.
You're screaming inside, oh, we can't be heard. I will remember you.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
If I was as tall and as talented as you, if I could shoot as well as you could, both them teams would have won. Because you know what? You did a fake punch, you said, in the Rose Bowl. Yeah. And I would have did fake point. I would have took it to the house. I would have scored a dang touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
And now, unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see on the horizon, Green Bay is going to run this thing back and probably pick up an early round draft pick to add to that room.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And you hope that these other guys will emerge and can add, but I don't see them making a J.R. Ewing type change.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins yet? Because if you haven't, you're missing out on technology that changes how you think about shoes. First, these are not just regular slip-on shoes. They're not just a pair of loafers without laces. But what makes them different is the technology inside that lets you just step into them. There's a built-in hidden shoehorn that slides your foot in, so they look, feel, and wear just like a pair of shoes you're used to. Except you don't have to bend down, struggle to put them on, or touch them. Try them at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions,
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
If I lay here,
I just said I wanted to celebrate the Green Bay Packers, but the fans have spoken. They're on the Carbless Talking text line. Damian Lillard has a torn left Achilles. There's not a lot of good things to say at all. Like, there just isn't. They're not going to beat the Pacers. They don't have a great future ahead of them with one of their $50 million players being out likely for the entire next season. Kyle Kuzma sucks. I mean, like, love me some KPJ, but you're not winning a championship as KPJ is your number 2 to Giannis. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman.
Kuzma felt like the backup plan. Like maybe he can evolve into something. And that
at this point. He's
blown up in our face.
Bobby's getting older. His trade value was like 2 years ago.
This team,
Brook Lopez is on an expiring deal.
This team is
that's Giannis's boy too. There's just so many layers to the Milwaukee Bucks that also give me the same sentence of Alex Strofe. I obviously am extending my talking more about it than just saying it sucks. But yeah, it sucks. It sure does. 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. Logan in Pewaukee. He wrote it too. It sucks. Doesn't this suck?
It does suck, but it is what it is, right, fellas? I slept on it, and, let's look at some positives. We dumped off Marjan Beauchamp for, I think, a great two-way player in Kevin Porter Jr., who's 24 years old. I think we can develop him a little bit into our point guard, a point guard of the future. I think we have to lean into Dame's progression going into the summer and next year, maybe offload that salary for some I trade Kuzma for a ham sandwich and a Gatorade at this point. I don't know. I don't know whether it's us and being pathetic at developing draft picks or what, but we give up on these young guys too quick. I like Tyler Smith. I think he's 20 years old, 21.
Oh man, he's in the bargaining. Logan, I love you. You're in the bargaining phase.
I love Tyler Smith. It was not a sentence I expected to hear in the first half an hour of our show today.
Lou Jean in Milwaukee. It sucks. You're up, Lou Jean.
Hey, what up? Oh man. Personally, I think for you guys at least to deal with it from a standpoint, I think you need to just cut Lopez off, bro.
Yeah, he's done. He's on an expiring deal. I mean, I think we've seen the last of Brook Lopez.
It's hard to build a team if you can't attract free agents and you can't draft well. And the Bucks aren't able to do
And they don't have any picks.
And they have no picks. They can't draft well. They haven't drafted well. You've got an old team. And you can't just trade guys. Like, nobody's going to take Kuzma. Nobody's going to take Damian Lillard because you need to, match salaries. It kind of gets deep in the trade weeds. But there's a reason why trades don't happen often, but free agency is booming because it's hard to do. So the Bucks are stuck with the young guys are bad, and the old guys they're old. And you've got Giannis. That's all you have. And that's just clearly not enough to do anything in the Eastern Conference.
Now, this is interesting to the poll question, 800-990-3776. If Giannis Antetokounmpo stays with the Bucks after the season, is the championship window already closed? Yes is 72%, so it's coming around a little bit now that we have some meteor votes. Shooter Magooter, I like that name on Twitter. Always have a chance with Giannis, never have a chance with Doc. It was a bad hire from the jump.
That name sounded yucky.
It did, but I don't think it is.
It's in the eye of the beholder, I suppose.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Way to go, Strofe. You're beholder over
You're
there.
You're beholding some gross things.
Yes, way to go.
I don't think Doc's the problem. He's not the solution. But
there's big. Correct. He's not the solution, but there's bigger things outside of Doc. And if you do fire him, you've been paying 3 head coaches now. Mike Budenholzer, Adrian Griffin, and then would be Doc Rivers.
I mean,
Jimmy Haslam, you got the money, baby. That's why I brought you in. You got all the money.
Giannis staying around, even if he does.
Bring back Bud. Bring back Bud. I want Budenholzer. No, I want Budenholzer. You know why? Because I think Giannis loves Coach Bud. And
is that going to be enough?
The whole thing is about Giannis. This whole thing is about Giannis, folks. Unless you are literally saying because the window's closed, trade him. I don't think that's the right answer. I'd rather go down and let him walk if he walks after next year because he's through contract. I don't think he's going to be the person to say, hey, I want out. But I don't think he's going to be the person to say, yeah, I'm just going to sign because I love you so much. Now that we've heard him talk about how his goal, Giannis Antetokounmpo's goal, is to win a second championship. And whether, again, he doesn't owe anything to anybody anymore because he's given so much. And for whatever reason, it's just been a bunch of crap that's happened to this franchise with injuries and bad luck. Ultimately, I think 2019 is going to be another year you look back and say, damn, because those were the 2 years. 2022, Chris got hurt. That was the year, but he got hurt. 2023, Giannis is hurt. 2024, they're all hobbling. 2025, Dame gets hurt again, and Giannis is playing with a bunch of Brad Nortmans out there.
Oh, boy, that is a shameful situation for him to be in. I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, with Giannis, it's an interesting fork in the road he's going to have because I don't gather he wants to leave. Loyalty's in his DNA, and he is Milwaukee and Wisconsin through and through. But you heard him himself on Thanasis Live telling Thanasis that his legacy is tied to a second ring, and that is his goal. That should be his goal. But if he stays on the Milwaukee Bucks,
he's hurting himself in his own goal. Unless they're able to do something that none of us, again, nobody has solutions as to how to make this a championship caliber team based off the horrible timing and a horrible injury to Damian Lillard.
Even a thread of me had some kind of hope, even going into this year and last year, which was kind of chaotic, dramatic seasons, that you know what? Maybe, just maybe, because you have Giannis, a championship is possible. From this point going forward, a championship is not possible. I just do not see it. Championship window is over unless there is some sort of miraculous type event that none of us can see right now. I just don't see how he wins another championship with the Bucks.
Giannis starts shooting like Steph Curry?
That would do something. That would change the game. But he still has a team that stinks around him.
Yeah, but if he's shooting like Steph Curry and can do what he does inside, I mean, you can have some Wilt numbers out there, some 100 pieces.
So there were some 80s out there.
All right, Strofe, I'm giving you some time here. You have anything more than it sucks?
It really sucks.
All right, that works too. 800-990-3776. Joe in Milwaukee. We're turning the page to positivity. We're turning the page after this. Joe, what do you got?
All right, I'm looking for positivity, and I'm thinking the only way it's possible is Dame decides to just call it quits, retire. We have his salary off the books, then we can get whatever it is, $50 million or $40 million, and get some new assets. Is that how salary cap works?
Well, yeah, it would. I believe it's kind of funky in the NBA.
I'll just throw it out there. I mean, LeBron James is a free agent this offseason.
Now you're getting outside of your mind.
Yeah, we're
Chris B. Haynes on Twitter, and who's very close with Damian Lillard. If you missed Dame, he did a special Behind the Bucks. You can check that out wherever you get your podcast. Chris Haynes narrated it. In speaking with Damian Lillard, he's motivated on attacking his rehab and returning to form. He's in good spirits, all this and more in his latest episode. So,
have you ever rooted more for someone to retire?
No, because, I also, he's, a competitor, and, I feel bad for him. But, if you're a Bucks fan, maybe you are... you're not you're not outwardly saying hey, I hope you retire.
It'd be horrible.
Not dancing on some guys. But the first thing I thought of was the guy had some blood clots. He just tore his Achilles. Maybe this is the universe saying hey, your time is.
He's a thriving rapping career. Maybe he wants to blaze his own trail in the music industry.
Oh man, are we bargaining or just desperate right now?
Just dumb.
What's not dumb, I don't care what anyone says, was drafting Matthew Golden in the first round of the NFL draft. What an electric moment. Who won the weekend? Mark Murphy, Goody, LaFleur, Love, 800-990-3776. It wasn't you as a Bucks fan, I can tell you that much. We all lost the weekend yesterday, late at night. Don't know if you shed a tear or not, but just know 2021 was absolutely amazing, and whatever happens from here, we'll always have that. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, Brad, Nortman, Ben Brust, no Kyle Wallace. Thank God, by the way. I don't know.
There'd
be tears.
He'd be all
there would be tears.
There would be tears.
There would be
live tears.
Who won
Talk
the
about
weekend?
bargaining.
The draft in Green Bay was electric. We'll hit on that next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You throw hands?
Do I throw hands?
With T.O.
Will I? I throw hands with Andre the Giant, man.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Club Paragon Greenfield, Deer Camp Milwaukee, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, New Berlin Ale House, and Stenny's Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Weekend appointments available. Call now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest until 2030, plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's your golden hour. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
Burning through the summer. Radio on blast, make the moment last.
I'm not going to lie, the more I hear it, the more I love it. What a moment. Whatever you think of Mark Murphy, he brought the draft to Green Bay. Very proud of the state of Wisconsin. Strofe, you were up there all week. I was there Thursday through Saturday. To see everything come together, to see the amount of people that were there on Thursday, Friday, all the families coming on Saturday. It was like shades of, gosh, I hate even saying this, shades of the Deer District, in my opinion, in 2021. No, just like when I say
Too
that,
soon.
I say that in terms of the national landscape of folks.
It's crazy.
Taking a look at Wisconsin and seeing another amazing view of how much we care about our teams, whether it was the championship in 2021 or having an NFL draft in the smallest market in all of the 32 teams, having it right there where you're literally next to Lambeau Field. And Matthew Golden walks out after Mark Murphy dazzles the crowd and has his moment. Like, it was awesome, man. It was awesome. And Brad, go ahead. You know, you gave me an opportunity many times, like more than once. You've been on this for 3 months. Not that others didn't think it was a possibility. You said it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, boys. I mean, who looks crazy now? I mean, I remember we were even talking about this a couple months ago, and I said, guys, this is going to be the year. It's not if, but when the Green Bay Packers are going to draft a wide receiver in the first round. And boy, did I just have the biggest smile on my face.
Hang on, time out. If this is true, Strofe, get his information. I love this energy. Packers Nation, my son will make you guys proud. Baron Sorrell has been special since birth.
Oh, that's from Barry
Aaron
Sorrell?
Sorrell. Yeah. He was the one that was drafted on Saturday in the fourth round.
I understand that, but that's his dad.
Where is he saying this to?
On YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. 800-990-3776. If you're still there, Barry, I would love to speak to you because that was an amazing moment as well that he stuck through, staying in Green Bay and was drafted by Green Bay. We got 2 Texas guys.
It is actually amazing, right? Stuck through all the way to day 3. And talk about a guy that's going to be productive. Not only, I mean, we're so used to Goody drafting the high potential guy, but didn't produce. Dude produced at Texas, so I'm expecting and hoping for big things out of that. And did you see him do the Lambeau leap? I mean, he hung out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, got drafted full of joy, did a Lambeau leap. The man feels like a Green Bay Packer already. But hey, don't try to deviate from me gloating about a first-round wide receiver. Ben.
I don't care about you. I love that Dad's chiming on YouTube. Dad's happy about Matthew Golden as well.
Dad's part of KBN Nation. He is part of KBN Nation. I love to see it, and it makes me love this draft class. My feeling is I am the most satisfied I have ever been post-draft with any Goody draft pick from the Green Bay Packers.
Tell me why.
Wide receiver in the first round, you know I'm already feeling satisfied about that. I called it. You need to get Jordan Love some help. You need to get guys that are trying to unfortunately, Dobbs and Watson that are in, expiring contracts. You had to backfill that. You need your wide receiver 1 playmaker. Now, it makes sense why Goody didn't even pick up the phone for Devontae Adams because he had these guys locked in from the start. Not only that, I know I was getting a little bit crazy about an O-lineman in the first round, but an O-lineman like this guy in round 2, who's a mauler, who's a guy that can come in and maybe start this year, but if not next year when Rasheed Walker leaves, I love it. Protecting Jordan Love. You double down with another wide receiver.
Saying goodbye to Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs, kind of, sort of, likely.
Yep, and then from there...
Or at least sending a message to everyone in that wide receiver room that it hasn't been good enough and competition better bring you to the top.
That's exactly right. And then from there on day 3, like drafting a guy like Baron Sorrell, who is productive, who has value, extreme value in round 4, who I expect to come in and be in the rotation early to help this struggling defensive line and filling in gaps from there. Goody did things that he normally did not do.
He went outside of that comfort zone.
He did, and he knows that.
Whether these guys turn out to be good players or not, it is a different way that he's gone about the draft.
It is. He was doing things that he normally wouldn't do. A wide receiver in round 1, focusing on guys that can be contributors right away and not necessarily falling in love with the high ceiling but never productive guy, which he's fallen in the trap of so many times. Each one of these guys, when you look at them, I mean, for me, the litmus test is, can you play in college? If you weren't successful in college, how do I expect you to play in the NFL? Each one of these guys had legit success at their college position and throughout their college career, leading me to believe that these dudes are football players. They're not athletes that can play football. These are football players who happen to be athletes.
Watching Matthew Golden when every time Texas in the college football playoff run needed a big play, he was a big play guy that they relied on. Now, again, translating what they did in college to the NFL, you of all people know, Brad, it's not a sure thing. All of us know that it's not a sure thing because we've watched, and it's been one of those things where a lot of the first round picks and a lot of the guys are potential based, athletic relativity score based, RAF score, whether Goody uses that or his own thing. It's been like this guy, Lucas Van Ness, is Hercules, but that's another conversation we got to get to later on is this defense, because when I look at the offense, how could I not be excited about what Matt LaFleur can do? And that's where it's like, who won the weekend? Was it Murphy for the draft? Like bringing it to Green Bay, announcing the pick on his like retirement tour on the way out. That was a retirement party. Then you have Goody, who bucked the trend for the first time since 2002, drafting a first-round wide receiver. And part of the way that this happened is the board fell that way. I think he might have took Derek Harmon if he was still there, but Pittsburgh took him at 21, and then it just fell right there. And a lot of people were like, well, why didn't they address edge? There was a run on edge rushers in the early part of day 2, and that's why they went offensive tackle and then found a wide receiver that this is the first time in Packers history they've drafted 2 wide receivers in the first 3 rounds.
It's stunning. I mean, transformative for this offense.
My overall point, though, is what's going on here? Like, you have Love. You signed him to a huge franchise deal. You have Josh Jacobs, who is an all-pro and played very well, not Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs-like, but a top 5 running back easily in the NFL. You signed Aaron Banks and have an offensive line now with depth that you've added in the draft and Jordan Morgan competing for a spot. Either way, you looked at that Philadelphia game in the wild card round when Elton Jenkins went down, it all went kaboom. Now you have depth there. Tucker Kraft is an absolute dog that you should believe in, and he's going to have a huge role with this team. Can Luke Musgrave continue to grow? Hopefully not being hurt. So you offensive line, tight ends, quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver room, which we still don't know who will be the best one out of them, but there's lots of guys.
They're stacked
There's
with options.
competition, and whoever wants it will go get it. I don't care if you were subtweeting Josh Jacobs when he said they needed a number one wide receiver. Goody sent a message to that room that it doesn't matter if you're Christian Watson or Romeo Dobbs, who are both coming up on contract. They need guys to come out and develop and not drop balls and be productive for a team that on offense has no excuses and have an offensive-minded coach in Matt LaFleur. It's time to cook. There are no excuses. It's time to cook.
I'm having a hard time seeing what the remaining holes are for this offense, because going into it, like you already said, you went through each position group. You felt really good about it. You're just missing that flash wide receiver one. Now, you think that's going to be Golden, but you've got other guys now in the coffers. You've got so much depth. You got so many options. Jordan Love is going, and Matt LaFleur is going to have a heyday with as far as getting these guys all together. And when this offense starts clicking, it's going to be unbelievable. When going back to Goody, and why I'm so excited about this draft, we always, or I would at least criticize Goody for a number of different things, right? But he nailed it when it comes to finding guys that are needs for the team, right? Because if you're drafting, if you drafted a safety, if you drafted a running back, you'd say this is not a need for this football team. So he drafted a need, guys that can fill in and make this team better. He got value. Most of these guys fell to him. He didn't need to reach, and almost all these guys were rated higher than what the Packers actually got them at. And he went for production, guys that are football players, guys that have proved it on the field. And so when you get value, need, and production, that makes for a great draft class.
I think anytime you say the word production, and you think you need to say in college, because we still don't know what the production will be for this team. Josh in Kenosha, 800-990-3776. You're up on the Carb List Talk and text line. List is more.
Hey, guys. So I just want to give a shout-out to Alex and Brad for turning me into a winner. I went to Pato on Thursday and put 50 on the odds for them to draft a wideout in the first round, and I came out a winner. So thanks to you guys for selling it.
My man.
Also, big shout out to Jen Latta, because at one point the odds were plus 300, plus 400. wide receiver shot up to plus 700. She got plus 700 for a wide receiver in the first round. It was 50 to win 350. So yeah, when she collects her 50 back, she won 350 plus her 50 she bet.
Wow.
Good day for her.
You're welcome,
Josh.
everyone. Good for Jen. And yeah, I guess we're just geniuses, Brad.
Geniuses that didn't put any money behind your prognostication.
No, but did you see my prognostication on the little ESPN Milwaukee video they put out?
No, what'd I miss?
I predicted Matthew Golden.
Oh, I did see that. I did see that. Very, round of applause for you. Round of applause for you. Is it fair now to expect Jordan Love to be a top 3 quarterback in the NFC?
Absolutely.
All right. I want to know at this point, what else is there that Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur need? Because now it's love time. It is love time. 2 years of different scenarios that all lead to your third year as a starter with investments made in this team to help you be the best quarterback that you can be. It's go time. 800-990-3776. Rich Pecker and Spread Eagle says it's nice to see Nortman back at work.
It's good to be back.
It also is funny to see somebody on YouTube calling you out for leaving after the biggest day of the first 6 months of 2025.
Hey, man, life happens.
I'll leave that one alone. Good to see Nortman back. 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talking text line. This offense can cook. Jordan Love's got no excuses next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Craig Counsell bobblehead that was given away, and we, just did a nice, soliloquy? Is that the right word?
Yeah, like a montage?
Like a Virgil.
Vigil?
Vigil. Virgil. A vigil. We did a vigil.
Vigil.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Prize Picks, the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's points, rebounds, assists, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you in the Takes 2 ticket sweepstakes, which could get you a +1, a VIP trip to the ship. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace with Strophe running the show. We've moved on from him crying about Damian Lillard and the future of the Milwaukee Bucks to celebrating what could be for the Green Bay Packers.
DJ Strophe.
800-990-3776 is the Carbless talking text line. List is more. We're on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison.
I cracked him.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I forgot you had that hotkey. Did you add the one that you got this weekend where Jason Wilde says Ben is 1,000% right? Chris Larson sent that one to you, and I need it. I need it for whenever Jason disagrees with me.
That's saying something.
I don't know, man. That one's risky, I think.
So the reason
that's going to derail every show we ever have.
Well, when I
Strophe, play the hotkey.
When I said to Chris to send that to me, I was like, you know what? Even if we get that one to Strophe, I guarantee he's not going to put it in there because they're not going to want to use it.
What were you referring to when he said that? Do you even remember?
A lot of things nowadays, you know.
No.
Everything that I say. Except for some people. Chef Ed chimes in. Alex and Brad enjoy listening to your input. The other guy, not so much.
Chef Ed?
Boom, roasted by Chef Ed.
Man, what's going on, Chef Ed?
I don't know. He's got beef with me. I don't know.
Dang.
Can't keep up. Derek chimes in on the Carbless talking talk. Derek chimes in on the Carbless talking text line. Less is more. He agrees there's no excuses for Love this year and he needs to use his legs more. His question about Golden is, are you worried about him not having a 1,000-yard season in college? Let's take this one step at a time here. I want to know if it's fair to expect Jordan Love to be a top 3 quarterback in the NFC.
No doubt. You're 1,000% right there.
Oh, that's a silky smooth. You're 1,000%. Said it with conviction.
You're 1,000% right there.
He also, has us as groupthink, so he's gonna be a drop here. As I look at the Packers' odds to win the Super Bowl, there are 4 teams ahead of them: the Eagles, the Lions, the Commanders, and the 49ers. Those are the 4 teams in the NFC that are ahead of the Green Bay Packers. Can Jordan Love be a top 3 quarterback in the NFC? The expectation should not be top 5. It is year 3. The expectation should be top 3. He had a year in 2023, yes, in which obviously it was a 3-6 start, a lot of growing pains. I believe everyone points to the Pittsburgh Steelers games, although they did not win. It felt like he was playing more free, and they cut him loose. Then he goes on a tear. Last year, he still had a pretty solid QBR. It didn't feel like a great year, but he still was a good quarterback. He wasn't great. He was a good quarterback. But in order for you to be successful with the way that the division is, you need to be a great quarterback. They've invested in the offensive line. They drafted more offensive linemen. They have wide receivers in the room. Who emerges, we'll see. You have Josh Jacobs to open up, hopefully, a better play-action game if they can figure out how they can do that, not just running zone with Aaron Jones and figure out how to run it with shotgun with Josh Jacobs, but there's no excuses. They have the talent to do so, and Jordan Love has shown the talent to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. That's why he should be a top 3 quarterback in the NFC with all of the investments around him.
Yeah, not only should he be a top 3 quarterback in the NFC, but he should be right up there because the Green Bay Packers, they're not going to make it to a Super Bowl if Jordan Love is not playing at that level. He's already making top quarterback money and $55 million a year, so he's being compensated that way. And we used to, I did, be able to excuse away some of the issues, right? Maybe he has too much pressure from the opposing defensive line. Maybe we look at his receivers and say they're either injured, they're not in the right place, they're dropping balls, tight ends can't stay on the field. There's so many excuses we gave him, legitimate excuses. Matt LaFleur, kind of hot and cold when it comes to game planning. I think right now, if you're Jordan Love, you've got an ascending superstar when it comes to Tucker Kraft, still a really good option in Luke Musgrave. Now you have this bounty of wide receivers that will likely allow some of those guys, probably Golden, to be that wide receiver number 1. You have a dog in Josh Jacobs for your running back, and you have an offensive line that's already really good. You add Aaron Banks in free agency. You supply a little bit of backlog when it comes to the draft. And now I look at this offense that is directed by the mind of Matt LaFleur. I don't see a scenario in which we can allow Jordan Love to have a standard less than top 3 quarterback in the NFC. He has the skill set. He has the arm. He has the experience. Guys, he's 27 years old. This is going to be his 7th NFL season and 3rd as a starter. There is now no more excuses for Jordan Love. I love Jordan Love, and I think holding him to that standard is actually, a compliment to him and the rest of the supporting cast around him. Now he finally has what he needs to do that and do that consistently. Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, those are the teams ahead of you. Those are your competition. Maybe Matthew Stafford. He's got to be in the top 3 among that group, or else it'll be a failure season for Jordan Love.
And Adam chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line. This offense has all the pieces, as we've mentioned, especially now after the draft. I think the biggest thing this offense needs to improve on is play calling. There were too many occasions last season where the offense was just flat. Matt has to get Jordan in a rhythm early. That's why I think this is like this whole thing of who won the weekend. Is it Jordan Love? Is it Matt LaFleur? Is it Goody? Is it Mark Murphy? This is Jordan Love's 6th season, but it's his 3rd year starting. And it's enough time to have sat and watched, to have experienced playing, to have the down of 2023 to the up of the end of 2023, to still having an 11-win season while being injured and having different things to overcome. Now, who knows what is in store for next year, but all of that experience now, learning and playing, you have to put it together at some point here, and he has a chance to do so with the way the offense is put together. You look like you have something to say. Don't worry, we have plenty of time. 800-990-3776. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. No Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, Brad Nortman. And Strofe, who's apparently winning lots of people money. Somebody won $3K on YouTube from you. I don't know what that's in reference to. But congrats to Jalen.
Yeah, good for Jalen. $3K richer.
Wow.
And you, not so much.
Not so much.
Back in 2 minutes. It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great
Great Impressions Graphics and Printing. They've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Yes, Damian Lillard did tear his Achilles. It is official. I've seen it come through from the Milwaukee Bucks PR department, not just reports from writers. It is official, which sucks. And then Strofe added, it really sucks. And an hour later, I think it just really, really sucks.
Totally sucks.
Totally sucks.
Big time.
Big time sucks.
Big time sucks.
Can I just, I'm sorry, I have to derail for like 20 seconds.
Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe running the show, UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. Hearing your thoughts on Matthew Golden, Jordan Love expectations now with the offense, and we head over to Alex Strofe now.
I've been thinking about this for 2 days now, and I haven't said it out loud to anybody yet, so I just need to say it to you guys. Do you realize there was only 52 picks in between Shedeur Sanders, who many viewed as the number one quarterback in this draft, and Graham Mertz? They got picked 52 picks apart from one another. Isn't that bonkers? That's crazy. If I told you that last week, you would have drug tested me.
Probably.
That is bananas. I don't understand.
53, excuse me, because Shedeur was 144 and Mertz was 197.
I mean, I know exactly what happened with Shedeur. It sounds like he had some bad interviews, and you know what the NFL owners do? They talk, and whether or not it's full collusion, I guarantee there's a little bit of like, hey, like we didn't like it, and then there's like, I don't want to put my name on it. I don't want to put my name on it. I don't want to put my name on it. I don't want to put my name on it. And here we are.
How bad could the interview have been, though, for a first-round talent to fall to the fifth round? Like that, he must have went in there and like insulted their mother. I mean, what could you possibly say to like make yourself fall that far? It's crazy. It was one of the more astounding things I've ever seen in the draft. It really is.
I mean, absolutely.
Maybe she's not that good. I don't know. But.
Well, and that's the best part is we're gonna find out. Like,
yeah.
There's 5 quarterbacks in Cleveland right now.
That's crazy. The Graham Mertz thing is nuts because like basically ran him out of Madison, and I believe he was a half starter in Florida.
Oh no, I got to do it, don't I, Strofe? It's been very positive talking about the future of the Green Bay Packers
and the future of Graham Mertz, but Damian Lillard's out. The future of the Milwaukee Bucks feels bleak. But I got to throw out an olive branch and an arm to cry on for my guy Leroy. Leroy in Milwaukee. Oh, how are you?
Ben, what I just saw last night at the Pfizer Forum, I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of sad because I'm a Greek freak fan. Giannis Antetokounmpo, you know, I love you guys at KBN. I love you. Keep on doing what you're doing, Ben Brust. I know we go way back, but man, my heart is torn, man, because I don't know what Giannis, what he gonna decide to do. If we gonna convince him to stay, man. I'm torn, man. I don't know what to say because Damian Lillard went down 6 minutes and
I get it. Look,
I'm just hurt.
Leroy, you know where I'm at. I will give you a hug. Like, I'm here for you. I will give you a hug if you show up in person.
I know you are. I know you are, Ben, and I appreciate that from the KBN Nation and everybody. But I don't.
Look, he's in the depression part of the stages of grief.
I'll tell you what, man. I've never heard Leroy
not energetic.
Yeah, he's always good vibes. He's always optimistic. He's crack-a-lacking. And when it comes to now it's become real. It has become real. The depths of how bleak the Milwaukee futures looks. If Leroy can't even have a sense
the
of optimism,
optimist of all optimism.
I don't. Now I'm truly concerned.
If Tyrone calls in, he's not crack-a-lacking.
Yeah, then it's all over.
Then it's all done.
It's all over.
I mean, it'd be worse than totally sucks. Am I right, Strofe? Moment of silence. I mean, like it's not dead, but it feels dead. It's dead. What are you doing? You're just pressing buttons now?
No,
I already missed that sound.
I know, that's what I'm saying, Brad. I was just trying to get happy again with the 100. Hold on. With the 197th selection in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select the next great quarterback, Graham Mertz, Florida/Wisconsin.
Wasn't it also crazy that he went before any Badger player? I mean, I know they stung last year, but I thought Hunter Wohler would go more. He was the highest drafted Badger.
Did you see what Hunter Wohler was drafted as? He was drafted as a linebacker.
Really?
Really?
Huh. So the cool part about being in Green Bay was seeing all of the electric Badgers. Like I was there with my fiance who is not a college football fan. She went to Marquette. I'm like, oh, Jonathan Taylor. Oh, James White. Oh, Melvin Gordon. Oh, Bo Allen. Oh, you name it. I'm like, it put me in my feels.
Yeah, that was really neat.
It was really neat. And what are we going to have to show for it?
I was about to say, now that's an additional layer of sadness because that's
whether they're crisp recruits that left or fickle guys that are still not available to be drafted. We're going to see a bad run in about 5 years of watching Sunday Night Football, and they do those introductions where we famously have Brian Balaga, Iowa. We're not going to have any Wisconsin guys. It's going to suck.
We're not. They made me do that, and I'm like, you're never going to play this, though. Like, why would...
Wait. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, former punter in the NFL. You're right. I've never seen a specialist...
Yeah, it was crazy.
...introduction on Sunday Night Football. You did Brad Nortman, Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's like a media day. Once everyone makes the team that first week, you take your picture, you do the whole thing, and then they come through and say, okay, this is for Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football. And they're like, just say your name, look into the camera, and say what school you want to say. But I'm like, but why? I'm never going to be in a starting lineup. So they're like, we want on everybody.
Yeah. Do you think it's like if you were accidentally one week the emergency quarterback for some reason,
or unless there
were you ever an emergency quarterback?
I mean, no, that wouldn't certainly be me. I guess. I suppose there are some specialists that could pull that off. Johnny Hecker has a really good arm.
Yeah, Johnny Hecker has a great arm.
But maybe if you were a player of the month or something, I don't know. I did Brad Nortman, Wisconsin.
Do you remember that one time we had a high school kid shadowing our show, and he spent the entirety of our show prep telling Brad how he traded
Brad Nortman
from Carolina
for Johnny Hecker because he had a better arm for fake punts.
Yeah, I'm insulted.
I hope that kid's doing well. I don't know where he is.
Everyone's got to be brought down a little bit.
Yeah.
Before we get to Jason Wilde, I have one quick thing.
You have a look in your eye I haven't seen in a long time.
Guys, after Friday night at the NFL Draft in Green Bay, went over to some friend's house that we knew about 15 minutes north in Swamico. Yeah, did I say that right?
Yep.
Never heard of it.
A second floor golf simulator. Unbelievable. The owner of the house, Scott, had shot 4,000 shots in an 89-yard par 3 that it's a competition between him and his son, and his son's a college baseball player, had 3 hole-in-ones and 400 shots. The dad had 4,000 shots at it. Barefoot, nails the hole-in-one. Electric moment. It took me like 40 to 50 tries at it. I hit a hole-in-one. Can I brag about a simulator hole-in-one?
Let's say you're out golfing with someone, let's say next summer, and you say, oh, we're talking about hole-in-ones. Ben, have you ever gotten a hole-in-one before? What are you going to say?
No, what I realized is it wasn't really a hole-in-one because I kind of had limited shots at it.
Oh, that's also a good point. I would also say...
I did it in 20 minutes, which was awesome.
Even if you had one shot on a golf simulator, that's not a hole-in-one. Dude, golf simulators are like slot machines. Like the algorithmically...
You're telling me if I hit a jackpot, I can't brag about it?
Well, yeah, but it's just different. You don't get credit for the jackpot. Your skill didn't contribute to the jackpot. Yeah, you got to get it up in the air. But algorithmically, so many are going to be a hole-in-one. So I don't think you can... I mean, it's cool.
It's not algorithm. It's literally based on the shot. Like, it tracks your ball flight and your spin... And it's like it hit the spot, spun back perfectly.
So that is same exact shot. What course did you hit it on?
Pebble Beach.
So if you went to Pebble Beach, hit that same exact shot, you're telling me that would have been a hole-in-one there?
If the pin placement was in the same spot, if the conditions were the same as the simulator, yes.
No, I don't think so.
Justin chimes in with the best point of all. You could give Strofe 1 million shots for that hole-in-one, and he would never get it.
I was actually just about to say that. Like, I think you should brag, because I'd never be able to do this.
You whiffed how many times at a golf ball at University Ridge in Madison?
More than I'd like to admit. And
what was the true number?
8.
Woof!
8 times.
And you swung and missed the ball completely?
The ball didn't
never
move.
moved. And then I picked it
if
up
anything,
and threw it.
the whiff of the club moved it a half inch and it moved back.
Wow.
Yeah. It was rather embarrassing.
That's hard to do.
I'm bad at sports.
It's also hard to do a 3-cone drill slower than a 400-pound offensive lineman, but Strofe found a way to do that as well. I'm excited to talk to Jason Wilde. Had a lot of in-person time with Jason Wilde up in Green Bay. We've never been closer, I can tell you that much. Ben Brust and Jason Wilde, new best friends. He thinks I'm 1,000% right about everything that I say. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe, KBN Nation, with Jason Wilde breaking down all things Green Bay Packers. Wherever you're at in your 5 stages of grief with Damian Lillard, text in, call in. We're here for you. Next.
No doubt. You're 1,000% right, Ben.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
So they are lucky. Those other teams, whether it's Kentucky or whether it's Oregon or was it TCU?
That was TCU.
TCU, they're lucky I didn't play in that game. You got upset by a bad team, TCU.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Starting out with a little bit of action right now on 94 southbound, the collector ramp right in the Mitchell interchange. We've got a crash off on the right shoulder, so be careful with that. Otherwise, northbound on 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. Southbound's just tightening up through the Marquette. Northbound 41 is going to be slow from Watertown Plank Road pretty much all the way up to Capitol Drive. Access believes every home and business should be accessible to everyone. Independence should never be out of reach. Visit allaboutaccess.com to learn more. Access, removing barriers, advancing independence. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, chances of showers and storms. Some of them may be strong. It'll be windy with rain tapering off around daybreak, around low of 58. Tomorrow, a chance of showers early, then partly sunny, breezy, falling temperatures with a high of 68, falling to 60 by 3 p.m. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Balaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest until 2030, plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like Livingston Seed Packets, 25% off MSRP, up to $300 off select Cub Cadet riding mowers, all backed by our service guarantee. See an associate for details. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channel. Great family film.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace with Strophe running the show. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with Jason Wilde joining us. Jason, what's going on?
Doing well, doing well.
Doing well,
Needed
doing
that.
well. Yeah, we've already added the best hotkey ever to our ESPN Wisconsin keyboard thingy.
No doubt, you're 1,000% right, Ben.
No doubt, you're 1,000% right, Ben. Do you regret saying that?
Yeah, I got to clean it. Can we clean up that audio so we can drop out the naysayer or whoever that is in the background? Look, it's not the greatest ever because you got to juxtapose it against who the hell gives a blank about Ben Brust thing? Because that's also pretty good.
We got that one for you too. You lost your hotkey page, Strophe? What's going on back there?
Scrambling.
I'm lost within it. I'm looking at it right now. I've got
Jesse Nelson would have had it up by now.
Oh, yeah, that's because Jesse Nelson uses 5 hotkeys. This page has 185 of them, so give me a moment.
Cool. Jason, I do want to know, because Jordan Love is heading into his 3rd year as a starter. He's had plenty of time to watch. Really going to help my question here as Barry Alvarez chimes in.
I love Barry. God, I love Barry. All right, go ahead.
From sitting and watching to the ups and downs of the 23 season to the adversity he faced through 24, the investments in the offensive line through free agency and depth of the draft to a first-round wide receiver, which doesn't mean he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver, but there's a lot of guys in that group, to a strong running back and tight ends that you believe that can continue to grow together actually based off some more evidence that we have from the wide receiver room. Is it fair to expect Jordan Love to be a top 3 NFC quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I
to set those expectations. Not saying he will or won't, but to go into the season thinking, you know what, this is his 3rd year, and he needs to start performing like he is a top-tier quarterback in the NFC.
Yeah, I don't get into tiers. That's Jesse's purview of where he puts his friends, which is still really weird to me, in my opinion. But no, look, it's a critical year. There's no denying it. Now, I don't know how we're going to measure success or failure. I don't want to say, well, he's not as good as Jalen Hurts. He's not as good as Jaden Daniels, and he's not as good as, I don't know, Matthew Stafford or whoever it ends up being. So I don't want to put that kind of a expectation on him. I think it's very fair to say that given the investments, given where he is in his development, and assuming he stays healthy, I think it's fair to expect a lot more from him than what we saw last year. And I know that the ESPN QBR had him 5th in the league. I personally, that doesn't match the eye test. And frankly, it doesn't really match how Jordan felt about his season. And I've told you guys this before, what I really like about him, and I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody else, but I really like the fact that he's so good about taking ownership. I mean, even when it came to the drops, like he said, well, in fairness to those guys, I wasn't accurate enough, and I didn't probably make it easier for them to catch. Now, he doesn't need to do that. Drops are drops, and 33 of them. I mean, the fact that Dontavion Wicks and Jaden Reed had more individually than the Philadelphia Eagles had as a team, that's a problem. And that's not Jordan Love's fault. But I think that the folks that have said he dealt with injuries, he had a lot of drops from his receivers, those are very fair things to say when you're trying to conjure up the full, clear picture of what kind of season he had. I think you could also say that he made some bad decisions and he, in critical moments, has a tendency to take more chances than he should, right? So, look, I think it's a critical year. I think they've certainly done some things to help him. I don't know if Anthony Belton is going to come in and be a starter right away. I don't know how good Jordan Morgan is at this point. So I don't know what their offensive line is going to be as compared to what it was last year. All I know is that they are clearly trying to improve their offense both around Jordan Love and just for the betterment of the team. And that's the way the draft kind of went for them. And so he's going to have an opportunity to be a lot better, and it's fair to demand that of him as we move forward.
Jason, do you see Goody in a little bit of a different light now that we are on the other side of this draft? Because I'm not going to lie, I do. I mean, I felt like he doubled down on the urgency comment that he gave to the players and the staff, that he felt a little sense of urgency and went outside his comfort zone to get a wide receiver in the first round, doing things that maybe he didn't do in prior drafts. So do you see him in a little bit different light after doing some things that were just a little bit different in 2025?
I do not. I don't see him in a different light. Look, the wide receiver position is a need, and he knows that, both in the short term and in the long term, right? I mean, you can't count on Watson. Like, even if he recovers beautifully, and I hope he does, from his knee injury, he is in a contract year. And you may think, okay, well, he's going to come back in November and be kind of mid, but we still think he's our guy. So hopefully we can get him on a 1-year discounted contract, and that way we have another year to figure out if we want to pay him bonko dollars or not. But that doesn't mean that some other team isn't going to be desperate for wide receiver help and say, no, we'll pay this guy, even though he's coming off an ACL and only played in 6 games in 2025. Romeo Doubs, I don't know how you trust him. I just wouldn't, but then again, I'm also a grudge holder. I don't do a great job of forgiving people. And not coming to work because you're not happy would be a real problem for me if I was Goody. So they need those guys. They need Golden. They need Williams. Regardless, they need them this year, but they also need them beyond that. So, what I would really love to know, Goody picks Matthew Golden. It obviously makes for a absolutely magnificent moment, right? He's there. He meets the moment. It gives Mark Murphy a chance to not be in stand-up comic mode, but be in crowd pleaser mode, which was amazing. And even though he and I don't always see eye to eye. I thought it was magnificent for him to have that moment. All those things. But Goody did tell us there were some other guys that were on the board that he also liked. And we do know he had some trade options that he called, and I quote, very tempting. So what I would like to know, if beers are on the table out of his beer fridge in his garage when all the scouts and the coaches get together after the end of the draft, I would love to know what he would have done had the draft been in Chicago. Like, in any way, was that like the little tiebreaker? Like, I feel good about Golden, feel good about this other guy, but I'm going to take the wide receiver because I know it's a crowd pleaser. Like, if there was a tiny little bit, and I think he does what's best for his team. I don't doubt that for a second. Maybe subconsciously or whatever. But what pushed him over the edge to pick Golden? And again, I'm not privy to his board. I don't know what the trade offers were. I know, wasn't it Atlanta that offered a first-round pick next year as part of its trade to get back into the first round to take James Pierce? I mean, I just wonder, like, how intense was the temptation? So maybe he went against what he would have done under other circumstances. Maybe I should see him in a different light, but
it's not like the pick was in right away. I mean, the clock really did go all the way to the end, which could mean that they were fielding, and there was some reports that they were open or teams were trying to trade with the Green Bay Packers. But yeah, I mean, like, ultimately,
he was definitely fielding offers.
There is got to be some sort of human nature element or just experience element of, the whole thing. What percent that played, whether it's 0.001 or 1% of the decision, I don't know, but I'm curious as well at how they ultimately got to the point where it felt like Mark Murphy had a script or didn't have a script and absolutely nailed the WWE promotion of the first round pick to the Green Bay Packers.
That was unbelievable. Mark Murphy on stage, I mean, he hammed it up. That was just a treat.
Now, there's a player, as Jason Wilde joins us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, no Kyle, that's still on the roster.
And I would argue that the only thing that was better than Murphy, who obviously had a much larger audience for his performance, was Goody getting up at the podium and saying about Mark, well, I actually picked someone else. Mark just went up there. There was somebody else's name on the card, which I thought was underrated as a hilarious joke, which I wonder if there's a little bit of truth to it. Not that he turned in Maxwell Hairston, but that he might have been pointing out that it was a good thing for the crowd.
That indeed. And another player on the roster, Jason, is Jair Alexander. And now people are starting to do all right, is he going to be with the Green Bay Packers? But everything that I'm seeing still points to a lot of people saying he's not going to be. He's participating in these workouts via Zoom. Does that mean anything? Does it not mean anything? What do you have on Jair?
Okay, well, I haven't talked to anybody in the building today. So they have their off-season program. Now it's in person, right? Before it was in the realm, the virtual realm. That's what I was looking for. Now it's in person. So is he there today?
Digi only for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, thank you, Tausch. Is he there today? I don't know that. My instinct would be no, but again, I don't know that, so I can't speak to it. I understand where fans are coming from. I've said this a bunch. I will say it again. I would like to see him still on the team from the purely selfish perspective of I really like covering him. Like it's basically me, Domofsky, and Matt Schneidman from The Athletic, who he really talks to. And so the fact that I'm among them, the fact that he came up with a quote for the back of the girls' basketball T-shirt that for Sydney's team, I like him. I get along with him. We've had some disagreements, and we always move past them. I really enjoy covering him.
And is it fair to say that his teammates enjoy him? Because that's kind of the vibe I've been hearing.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Now, do they enjoy the uncertainty of knowing whether or not he's going to play? Again, I think Jordan Love said it best when he had that line to was it Kay Adams, where he said, Ja's in his own world, which is totally fair and totally accurate. Now, all that said, it doesn't matter what I want. It doesn't. And it doesn't matter what you want. And it doesn't matter what Strofe wants. And it doesn't matter what all these fans who, God bless them because they make my job important, keep saying, well, I think he's coming back. I think the fact they didn't draft a corner high means he's coming back. Great. I hope you're right. But I don't think it works that way. Like, if you look at the way the corners fell with Will Johnson having that knee issue that dropped him into the second round, what did he go, 47th? There were 2 corners in the first round and 3 in the second. There were only 5 corners that went in the first 2 rounds. And then in the third round, there were 9. Okay? And one of them was Siobhan Revelle, who is the East Carolina guy coming off an ACL tear, who came in for a visit to Green Bay that I think they really liked. But he went 76, and they took Savion Williams at like 87. Now, if Revelle is there at 87, do they take him instead of Savion Williams? Maybe. I know that Goody said they considered Williams at 54 when they took Belton, and then when he was still there, they took him because they couldn't believe he was still on the board. But my point is that just one does not mean the other. So just because the only corner they took was Micah Robinson in the 7th round out of Tulane doesn't mean they did that because, we're keeping Jair now. Again, maybe they do. I have never said with 100% certainty that he's not coming back because I don't know that. But everything that I am told, everything that I hear, everything that everyone else is reporting about Goody, that's all coming from either people inside the building or Jair's agent. We're not conjuring this up out of thin air. And so I still would say that the vast, vast high percentage, I don't know, like Homer used to say 98%, is he's not going to be back. And that's unfortunately for those that love Jair and own his 23 jersey, I think that's probably the reality, and I know that sucks to hear.
I guess lastly, Jason, before we let you go, the first 3 rounds, I think people were expecting maybe an edge. And again, the way the board falls, there was a big run on edge rushers to start round 2 of day 2. Do you just think Goody really believes in the guys on the defensive line because of all the first-round investments and the second contracts and third contracts that have been handed out there, or just the board?
Well, I think it's both, Ben. Because first of all, I do think he believes in those guys who are all guys he picked, right?
Of course.
So he believes in them. At the same time, I can't emphasize this enough. Like, if the board falls differently, this is why you can't interpret things. Like, look at when they took Savion Williams. Was there somebody there that they would have taken instead, and they didn't? I don't think, in terms of an edge rusher, I don't think so. They took 2 edge rushers, right? It's not like they didn't take any. Now, they took them when they took them, and thank God, because, Sorrell is a great story, and I had a blast writing it. But
his dad just chimed in on YouTube during our show and was like, "You're going to love this kid."
His dad?
Yes. Barry.
Well, can somebody reply to him and send him the link to my story? Look, my point is that just because they didn't pick one doesn't mean they wouldn't have picked one had there been one that they liked at the time they were picking. Like, they had options, but I don't think there were any times where they were like, we really love this edge guy, but we're so confident in who we've got that we're not going to take him. I don't think it worked that way with Goody. I don't think because here's the thing. He had the line himself. You guys heard him say it on Friday night. I didn't think I'd be here talking about taking 2 wide receivers. At no point was he thinking that was going to be the case. That he told on himself there. And I'm guessing he thought with one of the 3 picks he had over the first 2 days, he would go either corner or edge. And the way it worked out, he didn't do either.
And again, that's the way the draft goes. Brad Nortman might not have been on, the top pick of Carolina, but everyone they wanted was gone. And then in the 6th round, they're like, we got to get this guy.
That. Brad Nortman's still on the board. We got to take him. Right? One name, Jason. No long ad, just one name.
Wait, did you just try and tell him no long answer? That was really rude.
I know we're really late. But if just one name, who do you think is the Packers' leading receiver in 2025? Yards.
If you're going to tell me what to do, Brad.
This is why he likes Mass Day better than you and everyone else.
Oh, Sam Veit. What do you say,
Bo
Jason?
Melton.
Bo Melton.
I love the troll job. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate the time.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good, except for you, Brad.
That's Jason Wilde. Well, you did it to yourself. We'll talk to him on Thursday as well. Listen to him on Wilde and Tausch on the all-new ESPN app, which you can download on the App Store or in your Google Play Store. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace. Alex Strofe running the show. Are you grieving Damian Lillard, or are you excited about what Green Bay did during the NFL Draft? 800-990-3776. We're with you. Coming up next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
We've called him Whitey Tighties. We've called him the Hall Monitor. He's Jesse Nelson. Like, he's just, I'm Jesse Nelson. Kyle, you're Jesse Nelson.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound on 43, backups coming in from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. The southbound side, it's got some backups from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94, a little pocket of heavy traffic just west of 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound on 41, heavy from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Capitol Drive, with the southbound side slowing just south of Main Street all the way down to Silver Spring. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, chance of showers or storms, some may be strong. Windy with rain tapering off around daybreak, a low of 58. Tomorrow, chance for storms early, then partly sunny, breezy, falling temperatures throughout the day, a high of 68, but they'll be falling to around 60 by 3 p.m. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Save big on everything for your next project at Menards. Rust-Oleum Stops Rust 5-in-1 Spray Paint lets you choose from 5 unique spray patterns with a twist of the dial. Use it on a wide range of wood or metal projects for long-lasting results. Choose from over 50 color options available now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Easy Cater is the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. With easy online ordering, search filters for budget, dietary needs, and more. Save your favorite restaurants and favorite orders for easy reordering. Save time with group ordering. You send a link, your team orders what they want. Plus, Easy Cater makes expense reporting a snap with all your receipts in one place. Easy Cater. More than just a way to order catering for work, it's your business tool for food. Order now at easycater.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Catch all the action this weekend at Franklin Field as the Milwaukee Panthers baseball team takes on Northern Kentucky in a 3-game series. Friday, the Panthers honor former head coach Scott Duffek in a pregame ceremony. First pitch is at 5 p.m. Then on Saturday, MKE welcomes back former players on Alumni Day. Game time is set for 3. The series concludes with Bark in the Park on Sunday with a 1 p.m. first pitch. Tickets for Milwaukee Panthers baseball are $7. Panthers Athletics for the MKE.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
This is a Green Bay Packers team that has won 9 games and 11 games respectively the last 2 seasons under Matt LaFleur after losing Aaron Rodgers and having 8 wins in his final season. Per Potawatomi Sportsbook, the over-under is 9.5 wins for the Green Bay Packers in a 17-game season. Now, the schedule isn't the AFC South, and what is it? What do they got? They got the AFC East? North. Like, yes, the North. Very good. Way to point up there, and I knew which direction you were going, Strofe. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe, literally producing really well by using his fingers behind the glass.
I can't tell if you're making fun of me or not.
No, it was great, helpful drop-in for my beautiful brain here.
Are the NFC opponents the NFC East? That is the Commanders, Eagles?
Yes, I think that's right.
Yep.
That is a tough schedule.
But one thing I caution, because you just never know in the NFL, there are teams that regress and there are teams that you don't think about every year that ends up missing the playoffs and then making the playoffs next year. You never know where this is going to be. Think about how we looked at the schedule this past season. We thought when the Packers played the 49ers, that might be the biggest home game at Lambeau Field. That's not the way the season ended up falling. So holistically, I'm just going to take a look at the team and take a look at their ability to get to 10 wins. I have a hard time with going 1-5 in the division. Like, they're not going to go 1-5 in the division. They're just not. And they're a fingertip away from going
0-6.
0-6, that's right. That's the one they won. That's not going to happen.
I will say, looking at this, I mean,
it seems like easy money for me.
It's easy.
Is it easy money?
I mean, I feel I don't see a scenario that this team doesn't win 10 games.
All right, so over/under's 9.5. Ben and Brad, I'm totally on this, and over 9.5. Are we missing something? 800-990-3776. The defense was top 10 last year. You invested into the offense. You drafted a first-round wide receiver. You don't know if it's going to be number 1 yet. But you drafted more competition in the wide receiver room. You have an ascending tight end room. You have Josh Jacobs and a $55 million quarterback. Plus a defense that was top 10 last year. And in Jeff Hafley's second year, you hope they take another step. So why couldn't Matt LaFleur, who has an unbelievable regular season record, not get to double-digit wins with Jordan Love's third year starting?
Jordan Love's third year starting and likely, assuming healthy. That's the only way I see this going the other direction is if there's a catastrophic injury to someone.
But Malik Willis was 2-0 when he was hurt.
He was 2-0, but
that was the AFC South. That was the AFC South gift last year.
If Jordan Love's healthy and he's taking that third step, they're going to have a better offense than they did last year. Defense, most of the guys returning. If not, they've upgraded in most spots. I don't see a scenario where this team doesn't win 10 games or more. I just don't see it. And I even looked at the Bears over-under. The Bears over-under is 8.5. You're telling me there's a 1-game difference between the Packers and the Bears? I get it. Fanfare, free agency, Ben Johnson. But this is still the Chicago Bears. Until you prove to me that you are somewhat of a respectable franchise, you can't tell me the Packers and Bears are 1-game difference.
That might be an under bet for me.
In a rebuild process, more of a reload for the Green Bay Packers. So I would love someone in KBN Nation to bestow a little bit of light on me why this is 9.5. San Francisco 49ers.
Someone wants to.
Who has gutted their team basically 10.5 for the 49ers.
Plus 1,500 to win the Super Bowl, plus 2,000 for the Packers. Ken and Oak Creek, they were a top 10 defense last year statistically. What do you got for us on this year's defense?
They're not going to be any better. They'll be the same as what they are. You take away what McKinney did and Cooper did, they would have been, what, top 20?
But why are we taking away what an all-pro safety did and what an ascending linebacker that they drafted did?
They didn't address the defense early enough in the draft. It takes all 11 on defense, not just two players having a spectacular year. Do you expect them to do the same next year?
Well,
I don't think McKinney's going to get all those picks.
Well, here's the thing, Ken. I think you bring up a good point about like not being able to rely on like the 6 for 6. Was he 6 for 6 in games on interceptions to start the year?
Games.
Something along those lines. But Evan Williams solidified himself as the safety next to McKinney. Javon Bullard played a lot in the slot. I love what Carrington Valentine brings from a competitive nature. He's a certified starter. You spent a lot of time with him, Strofe. I had 10 minutes with him on our ESPN draft coverage on Friday. He is a hungry individual, and I am excited to see what he could bring in year 3. You don't go from a 7th-round draft pick to a starter full-time in your second year unless you have skills and gumption, and you're not going to back down. Keyshawn Nixon, serviceable. Don't love that. Hot, like, again, Cooper, Walker need to continue to grow together. Jason's been high on Walker. The only thing I point to is if you don't believe in the cornerbacks, I can see that without Jair. I can feel that. The biggest thing that he brought up is can we look at this defensive line and say that it's going to be good enough with a harder schedule to compete down the stretch?
It's hard to say that the D-line will be better because they haven't really added much. So to me, I can understand the D-line.
And it's hard to rely on 4th-round guys as edge rushers to come in and be...
they need a star.
I mean, they had a 13th overall pick that's been a dud. And that's just the fact of the matter. Lucas Van Ness has been a dud thus far, and he can't be a dud. And he has to be a productive player in year 3 in order for this defensive line for you to feel better, because you kind of know what Rashawn Gary is, right? He's not what he was, and he hasn't been what we want him to be in second contract. Kenny Clark in his 3rd contract. Who knows if he'll even be here after next year if he doesn't have better productivity than he did last year. Devontae Wyatt has been a guy where we say flashes, but in terms of an overall consistency, there is a worry about the defensive line, and it should be a worry if you are a Packer fan, because there's just not enough evidence as to why they would take the next step. I can talk about Evan Williams.
The D-line was bad last year, and they were still top 10 in total defense. So I mean,
but the schedule is supposedly harder.
True, but
they racked up a lot of sacks against the Titans.
Yeah, the bad teams for sure.
And you got Seattle in a game in which they all had fun, but.
I mean, you make the argument that the defense improves under second year of Jeff Hafley. Now, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this D-line. I'll say that right now. But they do a pretty good job at turning the ball over and still bending but not breaking to a certain degree. But you have to look at the offensive side of the ball, and you have to say that side of the ball is going to be significantly better. Jordan Love, 3rd year, should be healthy. More weapons at wide receiver. Tucker Kraft taking another step forward, and a better offensive line with a meshing that Matt LaFleur has another year on how to use Jacobs and Love together. I just don't know how you don't look at this offense, even if the defense stays the same. Maybe it gets slightly worse. The offense significantly better. I think the teams are going to look at them and say, assuming Jordan Love can take, he doesn't have to be the back half of 2023 all the time, but be the version of Jordan Love that we know he is, they're going to have a hard time defending this offense.
Over 9.5 wins. Easy money, or are we missing something? 800-990-3776. It all starts in the weight room right now, and it's going to start in the weight room again for me, getting ready for the wedding at the Princeton Club. I can have that strong body with a strong mind. I need those endorphins flowing while helping create a strong community. And whether in the Madison area or the Milwaukee area with the new Berlin location, they have everything to combine everything they offer into helping you achieve all of your goals for a better tomorrow. Just take that step. It could be a big goal or a small goal. Get a tour, and you will fall in love with the environment, the atmosphere, the unbelievable equipment. They bring new stuff in all the time. Every time I'm seeing upgrades and investments into the Princeton Club, so I know I'm at the place that I want to be at forever. For your better tomorrow, get a tour, sign up with the free childcare with your membership being open for 24/7. There's no place to go other than the Princeton Club. We wrap up the ESPN Wisconsin portion, and then unfortunately I feel like it's time to see where we're at in the 5 stages of grief with Dame Lillard and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Spoiler alert, this sucks.
There it is.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's
quotes.
pretty good.
I will give him that.
Either crush him or suck at him. He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins yet? Because if you haven't, you're missing out on technology that changes how you think about shoes. First, these are not just regular slip-on shoes. They're not just a pair of loafers without laces. But what makes them different is the technology inside that lets you just step into them. There's a built-in hidden shoehorn that slides your foot in, so they look, feel, and wear just like a pair of shoes you're used to. Except you don't have to bend down, struggle to put them on, or touch them. Try them at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 2-liter bottle selected varieties Super Chill Soda, 2 for $3. 4-count double roll selected varieties Bounty Towels, $7.99. 6-pack 0.5-liter bottle selected varieties Splash Blast Water, 2 for $6. 40 to 48-ounce selected varieties Starbucks Iced Coffee, $5.49.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
If Giannis Antetokounmpo stays with the Bucks after this season, is the championship window already closed? 63% say yes, it's already closed, but there is a minority that is still giving hope at 37%, and a lot of the responses say it's still Giannis. Another poll question we have at KBN ESPN is it's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin with Ben Brust and Brad Nortman. No Kyle Wallace, Strophe running the show. Hit us on the Carbless Talk and text line 800-990-3776. The Packers over-under win total is 9.5. 10 wins and you're winning some money. Is this easy money or are the guys missing something? 76% say easy money. 24% say that we're missing something. If we're missing something, Kenan O'Creek brings up that he doesn't think the defense is going to be as good. What do you say? 800-990-3776.
Now, I think the 9.5 is very easy money. But I'm surprised more people on the talk and text or on our Twitter poll think that that's a surer bet than the Bucks having their championship window still be open. Because I don't see it at all with the Milwaukee Bucks. I just really don't. I know you have Giannis, and that matters a lot. Like almost nobody else in the NBA has Giannis. But Ben, you know this more than anyone. I mean, basketball is still a team game. There's only 5 guys on the court, but you can't do anything with just one superstar. You certainly can't win an NBA championship.
It's today's NBA. I mean, look around. You need a supporting cast. Like the Boston Celtics won a championship last year with 2 legitimate superstars with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And the Bucks had been facing them for a long time. And they were on their way of being young and growing and having those losses and growing their way towards an NBA championship. The Bucks have been doing the opposite to their fault or their like the injuries and whatnot. Like it's been a piece of their pie. It's going the wrong direction. It's looking. I don't even want to say this out loud. It's looking like 3 straight first-round exits for the Milwaukee Bucks. There's a lot of context that's needed to be added as to why. But I'm sorry, we got to dive deeper coming up here next into like, what do you do with like to keep Giannis? Because like I'm dying with Giannis, but is Giannis dying with us? And he gets to make that decision. I'm dying with Giannis.
I'm dying with Giannis.
Unless you want to be some superstar GM as a caller of KBN Nation and figure out a haul, I'm dying with him. Jim, Matt, and Molly up next in Madison, the Dam Sports Show in Beaver Dam. In 2 minutes, the future's bleak, but how do we make it feel better?
Northbound on 43, backups coming in from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. The southbound side, it's got some backups from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94, a little pocket of heavy traffic just west of 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound on 41, heavy from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Capitol Drive, with the southbound side slowing just south of Main Street all the way down to Silver Spring. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Chance of showers or storms. Some may be strong. Windy with rain tapering off around daybreak, a low of 58. Tomorrow, a chance for storms early, then partly sunny, breezy. Falling temperatures throughout the day, a high of 68, but that'll be falling to around 60 by 3 p.m. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Balaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that. Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that. Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, KBN Nation, it's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. And if spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look by boosting your energy efficiency and saving big during Universal Windows Direct Spring Home Improvement Event. Yes, right now they have their classic fan favorite, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. And there is no limit, buy 4, you only have to pay for 2. And the savings don't stop there. Right now, get a $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project when you work with Universal Windows Direct. Call them today for your free in-home estimate at 414-410-2000. That's 414-410-2000, or visit them at universalwindowsdirect.com today. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com, and like me, you'll be saying, "I love my windows."
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's the Bo One Bo Hour at Bo on KBN.
Some swag there from Brad Nortman filling in for Kyle Wallace. It's a week without Kyle, so I say we rotate the 414 hours between us.
Now that's
see who does the best, and then he can come back and judge who represented the 414 the best. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe, UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. See us on YouTube at ESP Milwaukee. And make sure you're listening to us on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app, available in your App Store and your Google Play Store. You know, I read this poll, and it is interesting, as you mentioned, Brad, that it's more of a sure thing that people think the Packers win 10 games than it is that the window next year for the Bucs is still open to win a championship, with Damian Lillard's news that he has a torn left Achilles. The question did read, if Giannis Antetokounmpo stays with the Bucs after this season, is the championship window already closed? 62% of the people say yes, and I lied. I see one comment saying it's always open with Giannis, but most of it's closed, locked, boarded, nailed shut. It's over. It's closed right now and has been, and it totally sucks, as Alex Strofe has dropped in very nicely. Any new feelings towards the Milwaukee Bucks right now?
It sucks a lot.
Does suck a lot. And the reason why, the question essentially is are you dying with Giannis or are you trading him?
You die with him. You die with him. I don't know how anyone could think that trading him is a good idea. Now, I think there's this idea that we would get this mountain of assets, right? What do we know that John Horst has done with assets in the past? It's not like he's an elite drafter of talent in basketball. Now, I know that they're picking later in the draft.
Well, and he has used a lot of his picks as part of the solution to get Drew Holiday and others of that likelihood. So
that is true. But 2017, he became general manager, right? And he's taken DJ Wilson, Dante DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo obviously was his best draft pick,
and we didn't even retain him, right? He went to the Knicks. Now I believe he's on. Where is he?
He's now with Minnesota.
Totally missed out on that one. RJ Hampton, Marjan Beauchamp.
But that went to Denver.
I mean, A.J. Johnson most recently. These are not guys that you'd look at and say, oh, yeah, these are the cornerstones of a future budding franchise.
They don't have a 2025 first-round pick. They do have a second-rounder. In 2026, they have a first-rounder, no second-rounder. New Orleans has the right to swap it, but New Orleans sucks. But if somehow the Bucks suck worse than New Orleans, which I don't see happening, they could swap that pick, and you're already not in as good of a spot as you were if they're bad next year. And then 2026, like if they're worse than the Pelicans, they end up in a better spot. They can swap it because that was part of the, I believe, Drew Holiday trade. So I'm dying with them. I don't care if Giannis isn't gonna be here. If I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis has to come to me and say, I want to leave, and beg to leave. And if not, you need to have, I don't know if there's like the plans to steal the Declaration of Independence. Like, you need something so incredible to be, yeah, there's no reason why I would leave Milwaukee. Sell me.
I mean,
Tell me why I need to be here. My name is Giannis. I just joined Thanasis Antetokounmpo, my brother, on Thanasis' show. Yeah. And I said, a goal for me is to win a second championship. He said, I did it once. The memories are amazing. I love all those teammates, but this is a different spot right now. The sidekick that could have been a piece, not the full piece, just tore his Achilles. Was going to run it back out there with KPJ and Kyle Kuzma and think, yeah, this is giving me who knows who else they bring in with Brooke expiring contract. And I don't know. I'm having a hard time figuring out a plan without a first-round pick. And, what?
No, they don't.
What is it, man?
They don't have a good plan to win a championship, right? With or without Giannis. That's the reality of it. So when Giannis comes to John Horst, the Milwaukee Bucks, they basically need, those were his words on Thanasis, saying he wants to win a second championship, and he should have that. He also said years ago, even before the Bucks won a championship, he had these ideas where he said, I want to be like Dirk. I want to be like Kobe. I want to spend 20 years in an organization. That's the only way that you can convince them to say, if you want to be an icon, if you want to be associated with a franchise, that's the only way to do it, is to spend 2 decades there, and your loyalty and your story is capped.
I hear you, but he himself just said he wants to win a second championship, so he's probably going to prioritize the best chance to win a second championship over loyalty now. And he's already been as loyal gets.
His head says, go to another championship. And I would say, if I was in Giannis's
You're
corner,
John Horst.
I would say,
I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis, think with your heart. I know you're thinking with your head right now, but think with your heart. Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo. That is a marriage. That is a long-term. We are committed to you. We want you to be committed to us.
I was going to do a Giannis accent, but I'll just not do that because it's probably insensitive. John, I love it here. My family will always be here forever. This will be the place that I found, a home with my upbringing, and I will always love it here. And I will likely live here at some point the rest of my life. But right now, unless you can offer me a plan as to why I should be here other than follow my heart, it's going to be hard for me to do that.
We're going to do everything we can to put the best team around.
What does that mean?
It means we're going to we'll be able to attract free agents because they will want to play with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Without Giannis Antetokounmpo, I can see how people don't want to come to Milwaukee, but to play with Giannis, that's a rare opportunity. So we will attract free agents when Dame gets healthy.
I understand, but are those free agents going to be as good as somewhere where I can go where they already have players that can help me get to a second championship? Because part of my legacy is to win a second championship.
You go elsewhere, there's no guarantee you win a second championship. Here, you will be loved. Your legacy will be set in stone. We're going to build a statue of you outside.
I'm already loved. You're already going to build a statue.
Not necessarily. It'll mean more if it's over 20 years as opposed to just 12 years in one championship. Imagine what your legacy could mean if it's always tied to the city of Milwaukee.
If my statue looks like Allen Iverson's, then I'm definitely not staying.
That's a fair request. We'll make it 10 feet tall. 10 feet tall.
Or Dwayne Wade's.
There you go.
There's no doubt that you are tugging on heartstrings as opposed to brain cells with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because
are we done with our little mock interview thing?
Oh, yeah.
I missed something.
What?
What'd you miss?
Well, Ashton Rotman was in here. And then I turned around and we're talking about statues for Ben Brust, and I missed
No,
something.
for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I was John Horst, and
I was Giannis. I'm saying
Did
why?
you do the impression?
It felt too insensitive right now.
It's hard to do that without.
Can you just say hello to your friend Chris Middleton?
We did it, Chris. Chris, we did it.
It's a good place to end. You nailed that of Giannis. It
Chris.
turns into too much Borat eventually.
Yes, I got to keep it tight.
Yeah. I just don't think there's any way you can. I mean, Giannis is smart. He's a brilliant basketball player. He knows what
John,
it takes
you
to win a
didn't do it.
championship.
John, you didn't do it.
We're gonna try, Giannis. We're gonna
try. Isn't good enough.
But what else? What else do the Bucks have? What else?
Stroke?
Do the Bucks
You
have?
want to be John Horst? And I'll be honest.
Outside of pulling on heartstrings and saying we're going to get free agents to come play with you, because we don't have many draft picks, and it's a short. Giannis is what? He's 31. He's turning 31, so he's got a 4-year window of greatness. So you can't even wait on some guy that you're going to draft to try to turn it on. You need a superstar today.
Damian Lillard's going to be here in 2026, 27.
Yeah, something to look forward to, Giannis. Don't you want to be here for Dame's return?
I want to win a championship.
Not sure you can do that here, Giannis.
How long does an Achilles take?
It's like tougher than an ACL. It's like a full year, likely.
So we might not see Damian Lillard until the playoffs next year.
It's at his age. Again, you never know how someone's going to heal, but it is one of the tougher injuries to come back to. It took Kevin Durant 18 months. I think it took Kobe shorter than that.
Who should call? Aaron Rodgers. Remember, he had like the world's healthiest Achilles after he tore his Achilles.
That's true.
I don't
remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. He was ready to play the same year.
Yeah.
And then he didn't look.
That's who you should talk to.
Outside of the Achilles, so Ben, you're saying it's a foregone conclusion. Giannis is going to enter. There's going to be really no logical plan to win a championship. And if he's thinking,
I'm not really getting anything from the KBN Nation on.
We should prepare ourselves
Twitter
for his exit.
Or it would again. The Bucks aren't going to. They would be so stupid if they said yes, we're going to trade you.
But what if he said, I'm not playing for this team? Because of all the reasons.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's going to have to be Giannis saying, I'm not going to be here. The Bucks cannot afford to be the ones to say, we're trading you.
I agree with that. I mean, the city would never forgive them. I know I wouldn't, because you hold on to Giannis. We will never, ever, ever get a player like Giannis again. Not in our lifetime. It took 50 years to even have them be relevant to win a championship again.
That's why when we just asked this question, do you die with him or do you trade him? Unfortunately, I don't think either of those answers are up to anybody but Giannis listening to the Bucks and figuring out if they have a plan to win a second championship. And they're running out of things to do to give him reasons to stay. Like they did trade for Damian Lillard, and like anybody, that would be a good enough reason to bring a top 75 player in and be reinvigorated to stay to try and win a championship. That asset is now gone.
Now I'm even more sad.
Sorry.
I mean,
I'm trying to find solutions. I'm not here to. I want him. I'll die with him. But in order to die with him, you got to give him a plan to stay. And you're right. Maybe he's better than anybody in the NBA in terms of loyalty and pulling on heartstrings. But this audio, it's stuck in my head about this was before the playoffs started. This was Giannis with his brother Thanasis on Thanasis' show.
I love the championship we won. I love the run. I love the people that we were together, the people that we won it with. I love how it played out, being down 2-0, me getting hurt, Chris going crazy, Drew doing his thing, Bobby not playing against Brooklyn, then coming against Atlanta, the Hawks, and killing them. I love all that, but that's in the past. And the way you won then, that's not the way you're going to win in the future, right? So that's in the past. Now we're just going to gotta create some new memories. So yeah, I'm trying to win a second ring, man. I really believe it. I'll say this here. This is one of my goals. Like everybody plays to win, but like me not having a second championship, like I look back at my career and everybody can say, oh, he had an incredible career, active Hall of Famer, first ballot, whatever. But like. Me, my personal goal, like if I'm not able to help my team win a second ring, like I'm letting down myself. Like I really want to win the second one. Hopefully, hopefully I do it. Hopefully I'm healthy.
Because
this is Alex Strove's doing.
Yeah.
I'm not putting my name on that.
I know I was John Horst in our little simulation.
After
here,
that, did
but
anything you say think it's going to work?
I don't. If I was Giannis's best friend, like totally objective, and he said, "Hey, what do you think? What do you think I should do?" And I had no loyalty to the Bucks, like as his friend, I would say, "You did everything you could. You did everything you could." And there's just no path forward for a championship. Like your legacy, all your hard work, everything that like you have done to pull yourself out of Greece, and you've got a story that's unlike any others. The story is properly capped with a second ring. And you're not going to get that in Milwaukee.
What the hell, Brad?
I mean, I'm just saying.
We didn't ask for you to be objective right now. Why did you come up with the idea to do that?
I hate that I have to say that.
That was the worst thing I've heard in a long time.
Always be honest with KBN Nation.
That actually made me want to cry.
I know. I'm peak sad right now. Peak. Strove nailing the music with our feels.
Should we hear from Kyle about Citizens Bank? We haven't heard his voice today, and he's gone for a week.
I want to hear some Kyle.
I want to hear some Kyle, too.
What up, KBN Nation? Listen, if you are getting to the point where you're thinking a checking account isn't enough, that is okay. That's why my friends Citizens Bank are here to help you. If you're looking to think bigger about saving more, paying attention to interest rates, maybe even thinking about buying your first home or buying a new home, you can do that with Citizens Bank. And what I love about them, they have great tools and great resources to help you level up. But my favorite thing, y'all, about Citizens Bank is the fact that they are local, right? That's why I love them, right? They actually care about helping people in the community plan for what's next. So if you're ready to take the next step too, just like me, visit citizensbankwi.bank. That's citizensbankwi.bank today.
Did Goody live up to his urgency that he said that the players need? Did he live up to it himself this offseason? We dive into that next on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with you, KBN Nation.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You should be happy Pac-Man Jones has had this on his headphones, or he definitely would have pulled it up on you.
I think Pac-Man's lucky I didn't have this on my headphones.
Oh, you right.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound on 43 backing up out of the Marquette, all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing down from Keefe down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Other than that, a little bit further on, we've got a broken down vehicle right about at Lincoln off on the right shoulder. Westbound 94 slowing down from 27th Street all the way out to Hawley Road. The eastbound side's got some backups from 76th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Northbound 41, a hefty ride from about Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight is a chance of showers and storms. Some may be strong, windy with rain tapering off around daybreak, a low of 58. Tomorrow, a chance for showers early, partly sunny, breezy, falling temperatures throughout the day. A high of 68, but it'll be falling to 60 by 3 p.m. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Brian Balaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
And now, unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see on the horizon, Green Bay is going to run this thing back and probably pick up an early round draft pick to add to that room.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And you hope that these other guys will emerge and can add, but I don't see them making a J.R. Ewing type change.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
That make a beat switch, turn off, give a million to him. Right now, I got so many.
It was an amazing weekend for Wisconsin. The draft in Green Bay. Everyone showed out and represented the state in a powerful way. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe with you. No Kyle Wallace. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line for you to get into, obviously to react to the news of Damian Lillard tearing his Achilles. We also have optimism of 9.5 wins. Chef Ed chimes in. It's a lock. The Packers win 11 games. The window for the Bucks is slammed shut. Offer Giannis ownership to stay.
Oh.
I like that from Chris in the 262.
Now that's pretty smart. Now that's compelling.
It's also not legal. Can't own and play for a team. Remember
Really?
we heard about that with Tom Brady?
Does NBA qualify for that too? That feels like something an NBA player would do.
It feels like it would be the closest. It feels like almost the closest league you could do with all the player power that there is. I mean,
Yeah.
they basically dictate their own teams and terms at this point.
Now, this isn't a fun conversation. Does it seem like Achilles injuries are happening more often?
I don't say I broke my own.
I see them everywhere.
I broke
now.
my own rule. I hate seeing
Well,
them.
you're reporting the news, right? So you have to say
that
Achilles.
is true.
You're reporting the
but
news.
when not reporting the news, I call it the A word.
Yeah, yes.
The same way the divorce in your household is the D word.
D
You
word,
don't
we
say it. I don't like saying it unless it's news. It's the A word. Earlier in January, post Green Bay Packers loss, Goody spoke to the media, and I've interpreted this many different ways, but I think if you're going to put it expectations on the guys in the locker room, I think you have to withhold the same expectations for yourself. Here's Goody in January.
You always have some disappointments in the year. I think for me, the thing that's been on my mind, I think as we've concluded this season, is we need to continue to ramp up our sense of urgency. These opportunities don't come. The life of a player in the National Football League is not very long. We got a bunch of good guys in that locker room. We got a bunch of talented guys in that locker room, and I think it's time that we start competing for championships, right?
Urgency and championships. Do you believe Goody this offseason through free agency and the draft has moved with urgency? 800-990-3776. We have talked about how the investments in the offensive line, a first-round wide receiver, doesn't mean he's going to be the number one wide receiver in year one, But Dan and Sheboygan, what do you got coming out of the draft here for the Green Bay Packers? 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line.
I almost think that this is an interesting year for Jordan Love because he's really in a good spot right now because if Green Bay has two healthy tight ends, they got a wide receiver that can run a 4.2 or 4.3 or whatever he ran in the combine, and he was a wide receiver at Texas who put up legitimate numbers that could run the entire route tree. And you got Jacobs at running back, and Elton Jenkins going to center, which is an upgrade. They got signed a free agent guard. They got the rookie last year. They got a second-round pick this year at the offensive line. It should be all systems go for Green Bay with the offense. I mean, this really should be an offense that takes the next step. And it's going to be a lot of pressure for Jordan Love and Romeo Dobbs as some of those wide receivers. They could go from being in a very secure spot to looking for a new team, like within a span of a year, if things don't happen fast, because Al Golden and two healthy tight ends should make it very much easier for Green Bay to ball.
Thank you, Dan and Sheboygan. Look, there aren't a lot of reasons for the offense to not have success. Mm-hmm. There just aren't. And it reminded me that I need to ask Jason on Thursday, and I don't think he's going to change his answer because I think he isn't going to be like, well, the draft doesn't change, the immediate impact of a season necessarily. You have to see it play out. But as it stood before the draft, we had asked which group, the offense or the defense, did Jason Wilde think will have a better chance of being top 5? He said the defense. I don't know. I don't see it that way. I just don't. Point, so I'd be curious if that changes at all. Diana McGuanago. Hey, what's going on, Dirty D?
Hey, I was at the game last night. That was an extremely sad situation. And the fights and, oh my God, can somebody just freaking slap the shit out of
dump.
Yeah.
As we're talking here with you, KBN Nation, 800-990-3776. We're mourning the loss of Damian Lillard, trying to figure out the future of Giannis Antetokounmpo in the championship window of the Milwaukee Bucks, and celebrating what was a successful weekend up in Green Bay and the excitement that you have for the team next year.
When it comes to Goody and a sense of urgency, I think when he first said that, I thought to myself, oh, he's talking about himself. It became clear he was talking about the players, but for the Green Bay Packers and for Brian Gutekunst, this is a off season of sense of urgency personified, right? I mean, he did have 2 day one free agents, right? Not necessarily in the positions we were hoping for. O-line and cornerback is solid. I still think a wide receiver round 1, and then again in round 3, I think he's telling us that the time for Jordan Love is now. He wants to fill this offense with studs and superstars to make sure it is, as our caller was saying, all systems go. That is a sense of urgency that I think that for like the Rams, it wouldn't be a sense of urgency, but for the Green Bay Packers, that's about as active, unique, and uncharacteristic as you could possibly put together.
Dave from Aaron chimes in. He says, he agrees with the last caller. It's time for Love and LaFleur to prove their value. Secondly, if the defensive front can, quote, take the next step.
We got to ban that phrase.
Yeah, it might
take the next step.
I was just going to say, take the next step is now added to the sounder of...
That's for everybody. That's a caller.
Kyle,
that's us.
Ben, Brad, Strofe. Take the next step.
Yeah, I can't, especially the D-line. These guys are the more veteran unit of the team. It's about time that they do something to actually
Devontae Wyatt is in year 4.
Yes.
Rashawn Gary's on a second contract.
Kenny Clark's on
a third. There's also some other pieces, but the only one that you could qualify as, we need to see them grow very quickly year over year.
That's one way to phrase it. How many different ways can we say that?
Is Lucas Van freaking Ness?
Yeah, he needs to take a stride.
He needs to take a huge jump,
a leap.
He needs leaps. He needs to be leaps and bounds better than what he's been.
Elevate to the competition.
Yeah. Wait, what's take the next step? That's
take the next step.
Okay.
Can't say take the next step. Brian and Lake Mills, what do you got on the urgency from Goody?
I think sometimes Goody probably just needs to not speak as much, but it's one of those where urgency now and urgency for next year, he's already gotten ahead of it with you never know how long Dobbs is going to be playing, probably a concussion away from retiring. Your O-line, you solidified that almost for next year now because you can't afford everyone at the end of the year.
Correct.
So it's urgency in different ways, I guess, that someone could look at it. So he did a good job. It just isn't the urgent right now. It's urgent for
What more
later.
did you want then?
I'm fine with it. I'm okay with what they did. I mean, could they have done something different in second round? Sure, but you also got the offensive lineman that's going to potentially be a starter next year when you can't pay all three guys. So I really like what they did. I hope it all turns out, especially with the skill guy at 3, your gadget, Cordero Patterson. So I'm okay with everything that he did and how he did it.
Thank you, Brian. For those who are unaware, I mean, Rasheed Walker, Sean Ryan, and Zach Tom are all up in free agency at the end of this year. Zach Tom will be paid. Mm-hmm. And I think by having Jordan Morgan and your second-round draft pick from NC State, I'm blanking.
Anthony Belton.
There it is.
I couldn't get that off the top of my head
Anthony
either.
Belton, you are backloading a position group that you know you're going to need to address.
Yeah,
with
I'm
the
all
draft.
good with that. I mean, you want your assets in Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love protected. You look at that, I don't want to go first round with it, but to do a second round draft pick with a guy that can play.
And again, as we talked with Jason, it's the way the board falls. One thing that I thought was really interesting as well was when Matt LaFleur and Wilde and Tausch were talking live and in person, Jason Wilde says, well, if you want Tedero McMillan, yeah, I want him. Matt LaFleur goes, what if he's gone? Oh, so Shamar Stewart. Yeah, but what if he's gone? There's probably some guys that they wanted, but then when Belton was there, they were like, you know what? We know we have needs in certain areas, but this is also still a need to backlog, and we can't turn away a guy that fell to us where he did.
He's a big boy.
He's a big monster.
Mauler.
Love a mauler. Strofe, are you mauling DraftKings Pick 6 right now?
Mauling in the basketball playoffs. I'll tell you what, love mauling on DraftKings Pick 6, the all-new daily fantasy game from DraftKings, and their payouts posterize the competition of all other daily fantasy apps.
I'm going to be posterizing my daughter on a Fisher-Price hoop. Does that mean?
How old's your daughter?
That'll leave a scar.
15 months yesterday.
Happy birthday, kinda. Enjoy this posterization. Hey, hit all your picks on Pick 6 and score higher minimum payouts on Pick 6, plus even more cash if you outscore the competition. Pick 6 available in most states in the United States, including right here in Wisconsin. It's really easy. You look at player projections on their stats. You click more or less. You can go anywhere between 2 all the way up to 6 different ones. And obviously, your payout gets bigger the more you select. The new players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Put $5 in, you get $50 in Pick 6 credits by using code WKTI. Whatever Kyle thinks impossible. WKTI is the code. $5, you get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18+. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One Purdue customer bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. That's 2 weeks. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Grieving Damian Lillard plus the future of the Milwaukee Bucks. If you feel it's bleak, which we do. We also have excitement from the NFL Draft to hear from you at 800-990-3776. We will have a former 23rd overall pick, just like Matthew Golden, join us a little bit later, and Brian Balaga. But next, it's Strofe's time to shine. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I put my card in, I pump. When it clicks, I pull it out, I put it away, and I move on to my own.
That's what she said. Thanks so much, Old T.
She pumps and moves on with her life.
Take it out, put it in, moves on.
That's what she said.
Come on, Kyle. Keep up. That's Packers Hall of Famer. That was one of my better ones, and he's confused.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
South Southbound on 43, we've got those backups starting around Locust, all pretty solid, all the way down through the Marquette, down to Lincoln. On the northbound side, backing up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Northbound 41, heavy from Wisconsin Avenue all the way past Capitol Drive, almost to Hampton. On the southbound side, we got delays from just south of Good Hope Road all the way down to about Silver Spring. Westbound 94, backing up out of the 20th Street area all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Lake Lawn Resort offers everything you need, from lakeside rooms to gourmet dining and a luxurious spa. Relax, recharge, and enjoy the best of Delavan. Book your stay now at lakelawnresort.com. And checking the TMJ for Storm Team forecast tonight. Chance of showers and storms. Some may be strong. Windy with rain tapering off around daybreak, a low of 58. Tomorrow, chance of showers early, partly sunny, breezy, falling temperatures with a high of 68, falling to 60 by 3 p.m. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say seeing is believing. And when you check out what's waiting for you at American Place Casino, you'll definitely believe you'll love it. From thrilling gaming to top-notch service, we're changing the game. Come play all your favorites like blackjack, craps, roulette, and the latest slots. Catch a game at the sportsbook, enjoy great restaurants, bars, and more. If you're ready for excitement, exceptional service, and an experience you'll never forget, then we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attend Biz Expo May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center and the keynote on resilient leadership, thriving in challenging times. Stay for the strategy seminars and connect with customers. Biz Expo is May 13th. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
At Grunberg Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
I've been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He had heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, your company's story. It's all about branding, telling your story. 3 Tree Marketing, they're your go-to solution for that. 3 Tree Marketing is a full-service branded merchandise agency that's going to take your creative merchandising to the next level. You're going to share your company's stories, and your brand will be clearly delivered to new teammates, business partners, specialized gifting or onboarding kits, whatever it is. 3 Tree Marketing knocks it out of the park. I know whenever we use them, we always feel like our story is told. You can touch, feel, experience who we are and what we believe in. 3 Tree Marketing is to thank for being able to think outside the box and become an extension of our team. See what else 3 Tree Marketing can do for you and your team and set an appointment today. Check them out at 3treemarketing.com.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Stroph's time to shine on KBN starts now.
No Kyle Wallace. You got Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, and of course, UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. Strophy, it's your time, man. Big week for you at the NFL draft, huh?
Yeah.
Probably consumed Monday through Sunday.
I was indeed consumed, but I got to tell you what, Benny. NFL draft on my mind a lot, obviously. But so is love.
Of course it is.
Oh, that's the way you are wired, Stroph.
So is marriage.
Yes.
No follow-up questions on that?
Is there something we should know? And you're back in your own hometown. Maybe your girlfriend was with you. NFL draft. Mark Murphy in the background.
Yeah.
I met your girlfriend's parents.
You met my girlfriend's dad. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And he approves of Stroph?
Somehow.
Wow.
Told me he loved me.
Wow. You got the I love you already? I guess it's been a year.
That means he's desperate.
No. But what happened yesterday was I stood up at a wedding.
Wait, you went from Saturday...
I woke up in Green Bay yesterday and drove to Racine, which is where this wedding was yesterday.
Oh, Lord.
That's a haul.
And stood up at a wedding in Racine yesterday. Yeah.
On a Sunday?
Beautiful ceremony. Yeah. It was a Sunday wedding. I've never attended a Sunday wedding. Now, full transparency, when they told me about this, I was like, "Whoa, that's going to be a long week." It was a great day, though. Super fun party. Congratulations to them. But Sunday weddings, IPT?
IPT.
Well, was it turned up?
Oh, it was turned up, man. It was a good time. We had a heck of a party last night.
Turn up Sunday wedding?
I feel like it would be watered down because everyone's getting ready for work the next day and the whole thing.
Well, let me speak for myself. It was turned up.
You turned it.
I was going to say.
Okay.
I was pretty tired from the weekend, and then when I saw you, I immediately felt a burst of energy when I looked in your eyes this morning.
Oh, wow, looked in your eyes.
This is the Friday Turn-Up
Sunday
with DJ Stroph.
That's what was going on yesterday, I'll tell you what.
That's so good.
So you guys say IPT for Sunday weddings. It was very fun, though. IPT, of course, in poor taste for those things.
I don't know. What else could be IPT?
I'd rather have like a Thursday wedding over a Sunday wedding.
IPT, sports radio host, takes day after the beginning of the NFL draft off when the draft is in the literal backyard of his company's houses. IPT or not?
Nope, not IPT. We all have PTO and we're all allowed to take it whenever we want to.
Whenever we want
to. It's part.
That's actually not true. I feel like I got an email that was like, "Don't take these days off."
I believe those were like
got that email.
Have awareness of them. Not say you can't do it.
Somebody always pushes the button.
I was bummed it fell on the same weekend. Trust me.
I knew you were in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But I was reading our show sheet where you pop ideas into every day, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to read this one verbatim. Quote, I was made to do karaoke at the marriage retreat.
Yes.
I don't give a damn about the karaoke half of that.
Okay.
Marriage retreat?
Yeah, so this is like through our church in Jacksonville, and a bunch of couples that happen to be all of our best friends. All of us and our wives go to this like.
I saw you golfing. Is golf part of a marriage retreat?
It's supposed to be restful. Golf was part of that. I mean,
golf is a frustrating sport.
Are you doing activities to like help strengthen your marriage?
It's just
this seems like a big cop out to go to Jacksonville.
Well, everybody has kids, including us with foster kids. So it's like a way to escape with your significant other, with your spouse,
Are we masking marriage retreat with vacation?
Yes, it was a vacation of sorts. I took a PTO day for it, paid time off.
No, I get that part, but I haven't heard anything about a marriage retreat.
Yeah, I don't understand the difference.
These marriage retreats are basically just parties where you just hang out with your spouse.
So it's not a marriage retreat. You went on vacation.
Well, what's the difference?
Was there like therapy involved?
Can't they be both? No.
What?
Therapy. I mean,
What is this, a marriage retreat?
These happen to be other friends that are also married. There's a couple of older couples that are like in their 50s, and they they're sort of like goals when it comes to marriages. So like we spend time with them, but it's not super structured. We enjoy ourselves. I get to golf. We have some libations.
This doesn't sound like
it's wonderful.
You went on vacation.
Yes.
But why are
masquerading as a marriage retreat?
So when you guys set this up, this is through your church?
Yes.
So do they send out, an email or a flyer that says, hey, 2025 marriage retreat this weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And there's all sorts of great things to do. Like I was golfing.
But by all means, a vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. A vacation.
How much time was spent on the marriage portion, like, of the retreat versus, like, not?
Wait, what was the question?
How much time was spent on developing the marriage through, like, an itinerary of things you probably went out there for versus...
Okay, so the one thing we did do that was, like, structure was we all submitted questions to, and he's like the lead pastor of the church. We submitted questions to him and his wife anonymously, and they just were in front of the group and they answered them for like an hour.
So they are the marriage we are all trying to be.
Yes, they have a great marriage.
Okay.
And they've been...
So there was 1 hour of that,
and
the rest of the hours were autonomy?
Yeah, the other 48 plus hours was just a party.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
What'd you sing at karaoke?
So that was the thing where everybody had to go. And I was like, Lexi, do this with me. So she did, because she's a great wife. We did. My thing was I wanted a short song so that it could be a minimized amount of pain.
Don't tell me you sang Tequila.
No, I didn't sing Tequila. No, that would have been great. And I wanted a duet so that I only had to do half the song.
Oh, you totally did Picture by Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow.
No, that would have been bad. Well, this was a great song, but I butchered it. Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Oh, no.
Why would you choose that one?
I don't know, because I figured like it's the
that
same
actually
thing.
takes some vocal talent.
Give us a taste.
No, I'm not doing that. Because these are like the most these are like the most supportive, kind people like in my life. And even they were like, Brad, that was something. You got to go with the deeper song.
Lexi sing?
You got to go. Lexi's good, but like when it came to me, it was rough. They're like, you got to go with like Johnny Cash or something. Like you can't hit that octave. And I tried.
Ain't no river
high enough, baby. So that was a moment of marriage building. That you can't replicate that.
No, you can't replicate that at any karaoke bar in the Milwaukee area.
Nope.
Can't do it. Can't do it. You can't replicate any casino like Potawatomi Casino Hotel because everyone who comes here is like, this is unbelievable. I've been to Vegas. You have Vegas and Milwaukee. Friday, June 27th, mark the calendar. Potawatomi showing why the standard with the highly anticipated season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty Roll into drawings worth $300,000 in cash and prizes are up for grabs. Woohoo! That's June 27th. Be there to win your share at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Must be 20 years or older to play. Brian Balaga, former number 23 pick of the first round, just like Matthew Golden, joins us next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Oh, wow. North? Spread Eagle is way north. Way north.
Man, stop. You're doing the thing where you don't know what you're doing.
No, it is, though.
We don't know where up north is.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I think that's right in the range that Emeka Egbuka would be there. I think it's possible that Ted McMillan could be there.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
We're speculating. It shouldn't be that hard. Like either you want to play for the Steelers or you don't, right? Like what are we waiting for?
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Brothers Milwaukee, Champs Americana Brookfield,
Double D's Hales Corners, Ray and Dot's Greendale, and Who's on Third Milwaukee. That's Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Myron Metcalf.
Shedeur Sanders is not a martyr, right? At the end of the day, he ain't Lamar Jackson. Please, man, please stop throwing out the black quarterback card for this kid. It's not him. It's not this situation. At the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders isn't good enough. What I mean by that is the NFL goes after people who they deem to have other stuff all the time. And I don't think Shedeur had anything. There's nothing criminal. There's nothing character-wise. But there were certainly people who thought, okay, is this guy going to help my locker room? They'll take the risk on you if they think you can have that personality, but there's a talent attached to it. But if they think you're a second or third round pick, that's when things become more challenging. I think Deion heard him not because of the hype. I think Deion heard him when he said, my son is only going to these 3 or 4 teams. And he said, he's so good, I'm going to determine his future. So already you've ostracized 90% of the NFL by saying, my kid isn't playing for anybody but these 4 teams. And now you expect 32 teams to be all in on Shedeur Sanders?
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, JOEQ. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second.
Joining us on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman before the Homer Hour is the former 23rd overall pick for the Green Bay Packers, Brian Balaga. Great to spend time with you in person over the NFL draft. What'd you think overall, man? Was it cool to be back and see this in Lambeau Field?
It was. It was great to be with you guys in studio, by the way. I know I mentioned that a couple times when I was there. It was cool to be in studio. But overall, I thought Green Bay did a great job. It was cool to see how many people showed up. I thought there were way more people there than I expected there to be. So shout out to the Packer fans and people of Wisconsin for showing out. I mean, a lot of green and gold in that crowd. So hats off to the state of Wisconsin for showing out for this draft.
Yeah, Brian, we got to spend some time with you all day on that Thursday, so that was a blast with our friends at Travel Wisconsin. But, you know, with this investment in offense that Brian Gutekunst did, right? Wide receiver round 1, round 3, offensive lineman round 2. What it really is saying to me, he's got to fortify this offense, and this has got to be a big year for Jordan Love. For me, Jordan Love needs to be a top 3 quarterback in the NFC next year. No more excuses. Is that a fair evaluation of level of expectations for Jordan Love now going into his 3rd year of a starter?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think everyone's expectations, regardless of probably what they did in this draft, was going to be pretty high, right? I mean, we all expected them to make some sort of investment in the wide receiver position, whether it be first, which they did, which everyone's very excited about. But at some point in this draft, they expected to make an investment in that position, but they did. But I think everyone's expectation outside of that for Jordan Love was going to be to make a big jump, right? And now with the 1st round pick, now with the 2nd round pick of a tackle, which, listen, that complicates things going on this offensive line for me personally, because 1st and 2nd round picks, There's a lot of expectation to play, especially for this tackle. This is a big man. Like, this is a big tackle that he's a left tackle.
Hot seat Rasheed Walker.
Yeah, there's a lot of, now this is the 3-man battle for left tackle, right? This is a battle for the left tackle position. And now I look at this as potential. Sean Ryan now, unfortunately, is back on high alert for his job, and he's going to have to battle for the right guard and claim that as his own again, I feel. Like,
isn't that a good thing, though?
Yes, I do. I think it's a great thing. Competition, like, is really good, but like, these are guys like Walker and Sean Ryan. These are guys that have been battling for their spots over the last few years. And unfortunately, like, there's a good side to it. Then the bad side is obviously from the personal side, from the player side. They're going into contract years, and you look at it from their point of view, which, hey, man, I played really well last year. I did this, I did that. And here we go again. Like, I'm back at it again. So I see it from both points of view. From the team point of view, from the standpoint of view, it's great. It's competition. You want that. You want guys being pushed. You want the betterment of the team, and that's what this is. So, like, I look at it from that. But for Jordan Love, like, I expect him, this to get the best out of him, because now he's got weapons. He's getting that, offensive line solidified up front. I think the wide receiver group, getting help is going to make Tucker Kraft even better. What a great dude that guy is, man. Being just around him for an hour or so on Thursday was great. What a great guy. I wish the best for him.
Did you learn anything about him that can translate from the football field in your time, or just liked him as a dude?
I just liked him as a guy. I think he's super relatable. Like, I think he would have fit in so well with our group when I was there. Like, he's kind of like an old school type of guy that would, like, when I was playing, like, throwback to the 2010, 2011 type era of the NFL. Like, he would fit in perfect. Yeah. So that's why he resonates really well with me. So I'm a big Tucker Kraft guy now. Big Tucker Kraft guy. So I think what Goody did in this draft is really going to benefit Jordan Love a lot.
Speaking of how this draft is going to benefit Jordan Love, if you were to make a projection today, who do you think is going to be the wide receiver one leading the Packers in reception yards next year? That could include tight ends. Who do you think it's going to be?
Yards? That's tough. Because I'm going to say I'm still going to go. That's a tough call.
Put you on the spot, Brian.
It's a tough call because I don't know how Golden's it's just so hard how he's going to get deployed, because I think he is obviously a deep threat. He's got great speed. He's competitive on the ball. Like, it all depends how LaFleur uses him and where he gets played. And does he get played outside? Does he get played inside? Is he the new motion guy? Is he a guy that gets the handoffs in the backfield and he gets all those quick end arounds and things like it's going to be interesting to see how he gets used. But I still think, like, from a yard standpoint, like, I could still see it being potentially like Reed or
I still have Reed as the guy from a yard standpoint. And I think I saw some projections that he still would be projected to have more yards. Very early projections. A lot of things can happen this offseason to change those. But you mentioned something important about the offensive line in the competition. Romeo Doubs is on a contract year. Obviously, Christian Watson is as well, but won't be available for the first 3 months. And who knows how that recovery goes. You saw some wide receivers subtweeting when Josh Jacobs said he wanted a wide receiver one. There's going to be a lot of competition in that room, too. And based off those kind of negative tweets, that they think they're good, don't you think it's a good thing? You want guys who believe that they're the best competing, because then you're going to see who's going to show out. If you drop a ball, there's more opportunities now for guys to step up.
I agree. I think it's going to be great for that room, man. I think it's going to light a fire. You bring in a first and a third round pick. I think there's going to be a lot of healthy competition, a lot of guys wanting to prove themselves, which I think is phenomenal for that room. I think it's going to be really good.
Well, what's also going to be really good is when you get Brian Balaga and Homer together for a nice Homer hour.